All good to go, Chris.
All set.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by L-Gas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. L-Gas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Welcome to UTAS Stadium in Launceston. It's the 2023 Preliminary Final in the Tasmanian State League between North Launceston and Clarence. A beautiful day here. Both teams are on the ground. The umpires are entering the arena, and it's all we'll play for this afternoon. To see, we'll play the Kingborough Tigers in the big dance coming up next Saturday afternoon. My name's Dave Moore. You're listening to a simulcast this afternoon on City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5 and via the Tasmanian State League YouTube channel. Welcome to all our viewers and listeners. We've got a lot of people down south, no doubt, today. A lot of Clarence supporters looking to see if their team can go one step further this season and make it through to the grand final. Welcome to the rest of the team. First of all, to my left, Matthew McGee. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Foz, and good afternoon to all of our listeners. Beautiful day here at UTAS Stadium, and the traditional rivals, Clarence and North Launceston, back in those 90s. They were fierce competitors, and a lot of water gone under the bridge between these two clubs. Clarence, I've only seen them a few times this year, and to be honest, they've been very underwhelming the times I've seen them. But to their credit, the last 2 weeks, especially the win against Kingborough down there, really got them going, and then they defeated Launceston last week. And they're obviously playing with a lot more venom, and I look forward to this contest on a beautiful day.
And in the expert chair this afternoon, it's Michael Max Walker. G'day, Max.
Good afternoon, Dave. Good afternoon, listeners. And yes, as Mac has said, beautiful day here, and a lot of footy been played here the last 48 hours, and I expect what we'll see here today will be another great game. So a lot to play for. There's no tomorrow, and it'll be full on right from the get-go.
Now, Max, we were really impressed, weren't we, last week with Clarence down at Bellreeve. A big win over Launceston, and they say that you've got to peak at the right time in the season, and Clarence is certainly doing that. Yeah,
certainly are, Dave. They've been coming for 4 or 5 weeks now. They had the Tigers on their plate before North Launceston a couple of weeks ago and toppled them. So everyone that they've got to play in the next 7 days, they're beaten.
That's right.
It'll be really interesting. And they really moved the ball well last week as well when they needed to. And it was really good quality football to watch last week by Clarence. Absolutely,
and of course the midfield battle is going to be really important today. We'll get to that in a moment. We might introduce the rest of the team. First of all, Mr. David Gruber, who's on stats this afternoon. To my right, good afternoon to you, Dave. And down in the centre of the sun-drenched UTAS Stadium, it's our boundary rider, Alec Croswell. G'day, Alec.
Hello, Foz. Lovely to join you guys again on a magnificent day down here.
What can you tell us about that wind? We saw yesterday in the NTFA Grand Final. It was a pretty big factor. What's it like down there?
Yeah, it's really hard to judge, actually, Foz. It probably does favour the city end at the moment, only slightly, but it's very swirly. So it is pushing, sort of changing direction every few seconds, which makes it very difficult to read. But I don't think it'll overly favour either team, but maybe the team going to the Launceston end will favour slightly.
No problem. Ground conditions, we didn't have much rain yesterday, just a little bit of drizzle, and not as much as down south, but looks a pretty good ground condition as per usual here at UTAS.
Yeah, ground is looking an absolute picture here, Foz. I think I was just talking to actually Chief Curator John Keddy, and they've had 27 games here the last 3 weeks, and you wouldn't know they played a game on it. It's magnificent. So credit to them, and as usual, just looks $1 million.
Fantastic. Yes, Mac? Macca?
More importantly, Alec, our listeners already have texted in wanting to know your condition at the moment. It's been a Herculean performance for you to even get out into the centre square. Just wondering how the body is.
Yeah, look, I've crossed the white line, so I'm fit, Macca. Foz put me through a pretty intensive fitness test earlier today, and I passed with flying colours, so don't expect anything less than my usual brilliant performance today, mate.
Thank you, Alec. Well done.
Fantastic.
The substitute hasn't turned up, so you're going to have to play, Alec.
Just before we do straighten up, Max, you've actually been halfway to Bellerive and back today. Our captain led us up the garden path earlier in the week.
Yeah, got the mandatory email of the schedule.
Where we are, where we're
schedule,
going.
what time we
the
got
captain
to be here,
here,
and
the
that
king
kind of
next
thing.
to me.
And, yeah, it was hit the old recall button on the email, but obviously it didn't work my way. I rocked up at
Bellerive.
Well, got the Zeps this morning. They were shut, so I had to keep going.
Fozzie did during the week. He's told us that we're off to Bellerive today, but of course it was just cut and paste from last week. We are here, Foz. I'll tell you what, one thing we are keeping a really close eye on, and we'll keep our listeners up to date as well, is the Tassie Devils are up against the Eastern Rangers in a preliminary final at Bendigo. They've been up against it all day. I think they trailed by at least 20 points at some stage, and they got it back to 8 points at three-quarter time. They just started the last quarter, and the Eastern Rangers have kicked the first goal of that to Tanzimat. So it's Eastern Rangers 76, lead the Tassie Devils 62.
So we'll keep an eye on that one. And we've also got Darren Crawford coming on at half-time to have a bit of a chat with us, hopefully about a win. Still a long way to play out there. Yes, Macca.
Now, no, I was just going to say, we're going to straighten up now, and we're going to talk about this game. Now, I didn't see Clarence last week. I am not convinced that Clarence can get anywhere near North Launceston today. You guys have got to convince me why they can. Go. Okay,
I think up forward they're looking very dangerous. They've got a lot of options up there. Ollie Preshaw, Bryce Elholmes, fantastic last week, could have kicked more goals. Noah Holmes, now he'll be better for the presence today of Colin Garland, because that'll stretch the North back line. I think they've got enough scoring power. And I'm saying they're going to win. I think it'll be a really close one. I think North Bombers will get over the line, but they've got a fair bit of scoring power there, and the North back line have been really good all year, are really going to have to match up well on them.
And I would have thought today Noah Holmes probably has to play a bit more in the ruck as well. Like last week, who was their ruckman, the young fella? Sam Green did a really good job, smashed him in the hit-outs. But Launceston were a little bit undermanned in that position, so I can see Noah just having to give Sam Green a bit more of a chop out today against the quality of Alex Lee.
There's a bit of a fitness cloud over Alex Lee as well, so that could be an issue.
There is, yeah. He got pulled up pretty sore last week. Now I'm going to counter argue you guys and say, how can North Launceston, Clarence's forward line doesn't matter if they're not going to get the ball inside 50. So you've got Ben Simpson, you've got Bradley Cox-Goodyer, you've got Pearce, you've got Braid Sulzberger, these inside bulls that I think are going to dominate the clearances today. I want to see Dave Gruber give us those clearance stats as quickly as he can today, because I think if they can get the ball out, then I just don't think Clarence's forward line are going to get enough supply, because you're telling me Clarence have got enough depth in the midfield?
I'm not sure about depth, but they've certainly got players in form in there.
My word.
Baxter Norton. Jack Preshaw is the one for me that I think he's in career best form. He was huge last week, racked up a lot of possessions, a lot of clearances. Also like the experience of Jared Harper in there. And Oscar Paprotny is another one that is really developing. Also like the Clarence backline, Macca.
Yes.
And they've got some really good players back there. They rebound well. So we're going to get a lot of rebound from both half-backs today, because that's how they play both teams.
And one of those players they have got back into the side over the last few weeks is Baker Smith, coming back from the VFL, former Tassie Devils star. We saw him up at Windsor Park the other week, and he was probably only his first or second game back. I can see now, though, that he can do that really intercept mark sort of job. You mentioned Alex Lee. Fairly battered and bruised, I think, from last week's game. But as we know, he's a warrior, and all he has to do is step on the field, and he'll probably get 3 votes from Max Walker.
Absolutely, every day of the week. Can we just mention,
yes,
and we need to focus on a guy at the top of our team sheet as well, number 1, Brad Cox-Goodyer.
Yes.
Big day for him today.
Tell me about it.
Well, games record today.
Games record holder for the TSL.
Which has been broken, 3 times?
Well, we saw Jay Blackberry break
months.
it. We saw Jay Blackberry break it. We saw Josh Arnold break it. Bradley Cox-Goodger will now break his record, and then depending on how they go next year, it could get broken either way again. We could be celebrating this most every second week if selection goes that way. Yes, Dave Moore?
Now, Alec Croswell, the toss, what do you got news for us there?
Yeah, Foz, the toss was won by Jared Harper of Clarence, and they will kick to the northern end.
Okay.
So, yeah, big toss to win.
Left of screen?
Yeah, left of screen, absolutely.
I was actually thinking that, Alec. I think the wind's going the different direction to what it did yesterday in the NTFA final. It looks to be heading to that northern end, whereas yesterday it went the city end.
Well, it's a bit hard to figure out. The windsock's saying one way, and when you stand in the middle of the ground, it's sort of blustering all over the place. So I don't think it'll have too much of an impact on the game.
Thanks, Alec. And just getting back to Brad Cox-Goodger, I mean, we haven't got time to read out his CV, but no, even this year, in the Coach of the Year and the Team of the Year, in the Team of the Year himself.
City Park Radio Player of the Year several times.
Hudson medalist as well this year. So
he's been brilliant. Look, to be honest, we've been lucky enough to witness a lot of it. He's given us a lot of highlights up here in the box, and hopefully there's more today from that left foot cannon.
So in the middle, we've got Paprotny, Preshaw and Norton for Clarence, along with their ruckman Sam Green. And we've got Nathan Pearce, Ben Simpson, also Jack Avent and Alex Lee. So the A-graders are in there. We're ready to go here.
Liam Howard, he's gone to Cox-Goodger to start with.
Jack Avent's matching up on Baxter Norton, who's that real link player with that silky foot of his. So Alex Lee, he's going to go up in the ruck against Sam Green, both in the TSL Team of the Year. Might touch on that later on. Not a great bounce. In fact, it's going to be brought back after Green took it on his chest. So we'll reset. Just get the feeling today, this preliminary final, Kingborough Tigers await. Sam Green, Lee bashes it forward. Clark Keating, Brisbane Lions style back in the day. Coming off the wing was Borsboom. He finds it by hand, but it's cut off there by the North Launceston midfielder. Looks for Leary, can't find him. It's going to be butted up in the back line there by Liam Howard. Goes out to Railway wing. Good contest by the fella in Bales. He's going to get it back now, is Bales. Good pressure early. Pearce twists, turns. Goes by hand to Mansell. Nice hit up mark. Here's Bradley Cox-Goodger. 65, 60 metres from goal. Tucked on the boundary line over on the eastern side of the ground. Bradley Cox-Goodger. The TSL Games record holder now. Goes inside 50. Ives is there. Theo Ives. Good punch from behind Baker Smith. And it's out of bounds in front of and through with Baxter Norton.
Got a high tackle, did Norton, so take a free kick in the back pocket. Devils now, they got back to 14, but it's now back out to 20 with about 18 minutes to go. Norton, short kick into the ruckman in Green, gets on the half volley, fumbles under pressure, surrounded by Bombers. He lays on it. There'll be a ball up, 40 out from the Northern Bombers goal.
Got to hit that target, Max.
Oh, you do, and it's very gutsy. You know, first kick of the day, basically, for Clarence, trying to hit up your ruckman on a little 45 lead.
Tap out from Lee. Goes as far as Howard. He's working hard there with Norton, who shrugs a tackle. Half-distance kick was smothered. Trying to burst through there was Avent. Tough and rough first up here in this quarter. There'll be another ball up, another stoppage. We're just outside 50. Lee goes at it. Taps it in the direction of Pearce. Simpson gets there. He might have got a push in the back. No, it's a boundary throw in. Beautiful sunshine here at UTAS Stadium. Some patrons taking advantage of that on the outer side. Of course, footy here yesterday, the NTFA Grand Final. Won in dramatic fashion by the Rocherley Footy Club. And two amazing Grand Finals yesterday in the NTFA and the SFL, with Signet also coming from behind. High tackle on Pearce. He's 60 out.
He milks a lot of those, doesn't he, Pearce? Gets a lot.
So Pearce, from 55, launches towards goal. Ives and a wrestle with Baker Smith. Baker Smith too strong. Just threw his opponent out of the way and took that defensive mark. A couple of early involvements from Baker Smith. Vida now to play on. Goes long. The grandstand side of the ground. Garland drifted up. Two grabs, couldn't take it. Spills out to Declan Chugg. He lays on it. With another stoppage just outside 50.
Big roll at the other end of the ground, boys. Lockie Mitchell has got Bryce Alomes, who's kicked 35 goals for the year Alomes, and a lot in the last few weeks. So, big job there, giving away a bit of size. Simpson gets a clearance for Dave Gruber and hit up. Finds Bradley Cox-Goodger. That's what I spoke about, boys, at the coalface.
It is. He'll play on here, around to his left, and here we go.
We're right behind it. Bradley Cox-Goodger, 55 goals for the year. Can it be 56? It's not spinning enough. In fact, it hasn't spun at all. It's out of bounds far side.
Fletcher Bennett on Garland, which obviously Bennett will have the pace. Obviously, they're trying to get a bit of run off that half-back, like we said earlier. So Garland's in the twilight of his career.
Connie Young and Noah Holmes is another matchup.
Keegan Wiley with the kick out. It goes along with that little breeze. Here's Declan Chugg. Good to see him back on the side the last few weeks from injury. Just gives him that run off half-back. But it goes out of bounds far side of the ground. So 0-0 at the moment. We saw a tremendous game of NTFA football here yesterday. Rochalee, after they kicked, 0 goals 9, they were 1-9, I think they were 1-10. And ended up kicking 7 of the last 9 goals to win the NTFA final. So well done to the Rochalee boys, defeating Hillwood. And of course in the SFL, that was another extraordinary result down there. We'll get to that one in a moment. Here's Borsboom, left foot. Bennett read it better, but he didn't because it bounces through him, and Garland gets a look at him, and the veteran Garland kicks the goal. Well, Fletcher Bennett did read it better off the boot, and he took the front spot, but it was a horrible bounce. Garland held his ground, and fortunate it bounced into his arms, and he snapped it through for Clarence's first.
Didn't have to move, just stood there in the pocket, and like I say, Bennett did all the right things. Judged it, attacked the ball, and that happens with a ball that's of an oval shape. It's not going to just bounce straight up at you. It was
a calm finish from Garland too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he didn't panic, and probably could have just straightened up, but he just swung that nonchalantly around the corner on his right boot and goal.
Already I've noticed, because it's been a while since I've seen Clarence, and they just couldn't score against Launceston and North Launceston earlier in the year. I can see they want to get the ball quick and they want to get it inside, because they do have some real firepower down there with Alones, with Garland, and with big Noah Holmes. They've got the 3 of them there that have kicked 35, 25 and 14 goals between them. So it's a good forward line for Clarence.
Baxter Norton gets it back towards Green with the tap. Pearce picks it up. Tackled straight away by Keegan Ryan. Another ball up in the centre circles. And Devils now trail by 26. So
they're going to fall short, I think, Dave.
It's difficult now with 14 minutes to play. Keep an eye on that one. Here's Pearce now. Met there by Howlett. Spills out towards Griffiths. He's tackled from behind by Nick Beerley. Picking up there is Hubbard. Gets free. Little kick to Avent. 60 out. Kicks in the direction of Ives. Good spoil from behind. Once again, Baker Smith. Howard at the fall of the ball. Back to James Beerley. Gets it to his brother Nick. Nick Beerley squares it up nicely here to Norton, who's been influential so far. Over to Colby Whitelaw. Under pressure. Panic kick. Might be all right. Gets to Garland. Gee, smart tap on to Harper. Harper now towards Murrell. Murrell picks it up. This way, that away. Goes on the right foot. Players dive on the ball. Getting there first was Howlett. And there'll be another ball up. Just the attacking side of the wing. Green and Lee. Lee wins the tap. Straight down to Avent. Hands to Nicholas. Running past now is Lee flank. Smart handball to Hubbard. Tries to get through traffic. Strength. Shrugs a tackle. Sideways kick now to Simpson, who marks it right half back.
Simpson. Garland chases him from behind. Good pressure from the veteran. You love to see that if you're the Clarence coach, Peter Ryan. And because of that, the ball goes out of bounds in front of Jack Avent. Just back to that SFL game yesterday for our southern listeners and viewers. Signet, extraordinary victory over Huonville. Fozzie saw the score at quarter time and basically said gave it up, and I rang him last night and said Signet won. He didn't believe me, but they did. Thor Boscott, one of our favourites on City Park Radio. Well done to those lads. There's going to be a free kick. It's going to be play on advantage to Sulzberger. Another inside 50 for Dave Gruber. The dangerous Leary gets a terrible bounce. Ives now. He's got Mansell there. Good tackle from Baker Smith. Here's Mansell. Snap, throw. Free kick, Clarence Baker Smith, who started really well.
Yeah, just that unusual bounce of our ball. Again, there just didn't give Leary the opportunity to run at that one and just sat up, and he was right on that.
Baker Smith, long down the middle. Noah Holmes, Connor Young, good battle there. Declan Chugg by hand. Comes over the back now to Nicholas. He'll switch it through Bales on that left foot. They go wide looking for Cox Goodger. He looks up and about today. There's a coach on this momentous day for him. Leaf Lang gives it over the top. Now long and deep. Ives just can't get there. They get the extra back, and it's a good mark to Ollie Preshaw.
Ollie Preshaw switches it in the direction there. Bush, who takes the mark. Bush goes short. Okay to Whitelaw. One of the Clarence boys today in the long sleeves. Backwards now to Nick Bealey. A few possessions early. He's got a lot of territory in front of him. Low kick. Not a great one. Gee, off hands there. Player rush running through there. Gets the high tackle. Let's get the glasses up there. Looks like Oscar Paprotny with the ball. Handball's off. Back to Nick Bealey. Along down the line. Over the back. Spills. Bales there with Allomes. Neither can pick it up. It's out of bounds. So 1 goal straight, 6 Clarence. The Bombers yet to score. Tight start. 27 points the margin now at Bendigo. And we're playing 14 and a half minutes.
Boundary throw in, eastern side of the ground. If you just joined us, Colin Garland kicked the first for Clarence, been the only scorer so far, 10 minutes in. Holmes takes the ruck work, it goes his way, kicks it out of mid-air. Does Noah Holmes. Connor Leaflang, good mark. He's had a great year, Connor Leaflang. Key defensive role. He's really improved his footy and his disposal. Don't let me down now, Connor. He doesn't. He goes wide. Finds Bennett. Bennett tries to cut one off, and he does on the 45. Finds Rickard. So Rickard going the slow here at the moment. That's a push out. Ahern will take that free kick. So Jack Ahern fought his way back into the side after missing a couple of weeks. Another one of these left footers for Northern Bombers. Tried to find another one in Sulzberger. I think it's going to be a free kick to Ollie Preshaw. And it is. Sulzberger just got him over the shoulder. As Fozzie said, Devils over in Bendigo have got it up against them now. Less than 10 minutes left. 27 points to lead the Eastern Rangers. Talented side, the Eastern Rangers. Playing good footy at the right time of the year. We'll hear from Darren Crawford at half time. Sounds as though what probably might be a loss, I'd say. Clarence, you'd say, are in control, Max.
They certainly are, and we saw this from them last week too, Macca. They're really content in moving the ball quickly, taking it on in the middle as well.
They've turned this one over, though, after the Keegan Wiley kick. Coming out on the other side here now is North Launceston, but it's still 3-on-1. That was Harvey Griffiths with the kick, looking for Ives. It's another defensive mark, and this time it goes to the Clarence defender in Harry Fisher. He'll come back. Oh, put under pressure there for Clarence was Ollie Preshaw. Noah Holmes says, don't argue. The big fella kicks an inside-out barrel. Mitchie Nicholas puts his body on the line. Declan Chug. It's good pressure, though, by Clarence through Oscar Paprotny. Now comes inside 50, Keegan Ryan. 1-2 bites of the cherry. It's a good mark. And it's Bryce Alomes. Now, I mentioned Alomes. He kicked 35 goals for the year.
I think it was an even better kick to him. The guy just noticed that if I just take a bit of the speed off this, it'll just sit there for...
How was the big Noah Holmes back here, though? The big fella. Little don't argue. That was good play. So he's one of their weapons, Bryce Alomes. At times he's much maligned, but he's come back, he's come good, and he's kicked a goal. Super talent. Bryce Alomes goes bang, and that's 2 for Clarence. And North Launceston are under pressure early in the preliminary final for 2023. Dave Moore.
Oh, Baker Smith's been huge. He took another good mark back here, Michael Walker, and he's just dominating. He's a marshal at the moment of that back line.
He is, Dave, and he followed it up with a couple of handballs as well there. Got a handball receive. His second handball wasn't the best one at the feet, but like Macca said, that's where it allowed his mate Noah Holmes to just do the old fend off and get the ball forward, and they're really intent on just drive forward at the moment. You don't see, or haven't seen any, these little short 45s backwards to switch it. They're just prepared to go straight and forward.
Noah Holmes worried out of the kick. He might be penalised there for holding the ball. So Willman Shandon with the free kick. Heavily disguised as Jack Avent as he gets the short kick now to Pearce. Pearce kicks inside 50. Overcooks the kick a little bit. Off hands. Bealey. Gets it to Borsboom. His kick might just stay in. It does. Keegan Ryan, the second touch there was over the line. Throwing.
You mentioned Baker Smith. Of course, he was playing VFL football for the Northern Bull Ants. And to be honest, for the Bull Ants, they didn't have a great year. So playing as a key defender, he got plenty of practice, Max.
He did.
The poor old Bull Ants in the VFL.
Yep. Change of coach as well, the Bull Ants for next season.
Bounty throw in. Lee takes out of there. He's tackled by Holmes front on. No prior, says the umpire.
We were talking about it last week, the Baker Holmes scenario.
Baker Smith?
Baker Smith, sorry. He 3 clubs this year.
Yep.
He played a game in Norfolk with his father, who's coaching him as
Matthew
well.
Smith, yes.
Yep.
Trouble for the Devils now, Fozzel. 33 points.
Keegan Ryan kicks up the line. Garland front position. Bennett pushed him away from the contest, and it's now out of bounds. How liberating, Macca, is it for Noah Holmes, who he was almost typecast as a key forward there, but now he's been liberated and he's doing some great work in the ruck.
Well, he's a massive unit, isn't he, after having a year at Dosa. Big Noah, he gives me headaches and nightmares after we had to play school footy against him at GYC, and he won a grand final off his own boot with 5 goals in the second half. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but a little shout out, of course, to Blair Brownless.
Sure he's listening.
Oh, he is, and speaking of a little shout out, Byron Howard just sent a text through, said loving the call, the former North Hobart superstar full forward, the double gloved one.
He was.
He was, big Byron. My word. Simpson, another clearance. It finds Avent, but he's set upon. Sam Green. And you like to see this chasing work, the tackling work from their bigs. They're getting work done. In fact, that time it was Jared Harper. Here's Green. Up against Lee. Comes down. They're just controlling the footy at the moment. Borsboom, another left foot in. It's a chaos ball. Garland stands still again. He taps it on this time over in Tom Murrell's way. It comes inside 50. Bounces off the chest of the North Launceston defender. He can't get it. Leaflang does well. And it comes out now through Simpson.
Simpson out there to Lee. Off the contest, falls to Avent. Hit up. Beautiful lace out to Cox-Goodger on centre wing. 5 metres in from the boundary. Turns, kicks. Nobody at home and half forward. So it'll be repelled here. Handball smothered. Nick Bealey there. And James Bealey as well. They see the ball over the boundary line.
Free kick, Clarence.
Yep, it's going to go James Bealey's way.
Yep.
Team of the year. Back pocket.
A small defender. Did a job last week on Liam Jones.
Correct. Plays on. It's good distance up the line here. A lot of players around the contest. Leaflang front position. Couldn't take the mark. Spills to the back to Pearce. Looks for an outlet. Gets one now through Cox-Goodger. Weaves his way through traffic. Handballs. Central position now here to Hubbard. Takes a bounce. Tackled by Jack Preshaw. And it's holding the ball. And BOG from mine last week. Jack Preshaw with the tackle. That could be a big moment. He switches the ball now. And he finds Harry Fisher.
Harry Fisher on the far side of the ground. Up and about of the Clarence Roos. Could it be an all-Southern grand final? We'll have to wait and see. Max Gapin, son of Matt Gapin. Nice article in the paper today. Of course, superstar player back in the day. He played a lot of Devils footy at senior level in the VFL. Did his dad, Matt Gapin. So it's good to see Max, the youngster, playing. They just injected a few of these boys in throughout the year. Here's Garland up against Ives now in the ruck. Comes down the front. It's a quick snap through Sam Green. Goes to the square. They're under pressure, the North Launceston defenders. But they get away with this one. It's going to come out in front here of Josh Rickard. And it goes out of bounds in front of him. A couple of afters. Oh, more than a couple of afters.
Ollie Preshaw.
Ollie Preshaw.
William Bush is in there.
Well, he wasn't happy there at the moment, was he?
And now
Willman Shandon.
Yep. Separated.
Smallest bloke on the ground. Thinks he's the biggest, of course. Like that little yapping dog, isn't he? That
free kick to North there.
Finally given it away, has he? Pretty sure.
Yep.
On Rickard.
No, it's come back here to Ives.
On Hubbard, sorry. No, it was on Hubbard. Sorry.
Ives now with a big kick. Up the wing. Oh, Ahern and his opponent Baker Smith. They took the mark simultaneously. Umpire says, I can't pick that one. We'll have a ball up. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas. For your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Out and out of Nicholas. Handball to Ives. Ives kicks straight away inside 50. Player down is Baker Smith. He's not moving. Cox-Goodger dives on it. So Baker Smith, I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, not saying much, but Bradley was in the area. Might have just poked him in the eye.
So he's getting up now gingerly, holding his back. Looks like he's okay, which is good news for the Roos fans. Ives wins the tap. Be another contest here, another ball up. Inside 50s for Dave Gruber. Gee, North Launceston 9-5. 9 entries for no score so far. Also clearances, North Launceston 5, Clarence 5 at the moment. So we've got a whistle on play.
Yeah, throw against Leary. They come away now. The Clarence through Max Gapin. Swings it wider. Borspoon step inside. Looking for that left. He's caught. Good tackle. North Launceston looking to pump it in again. Clarence doing all they can do. Unfortunately, the Devils will lose. 40 points down now. Less than a minute left. The all-conquering Devils, unfortunately, like last year, are going to fall 1 win short of the grand final. A tremendous year for them. And Coach Weberly, lots of draftable players. He's inside 50 to Cox-Goodger.
Not 15.
Wasn't 15, play on. And the Clarence tackling has been immense.
Liam Howard's got that job on Cox-Goodger, wearing him like a glove up there. From the ball up, Holmes in the contest, and gets Jack Preshaw tackled immediately. Another ball up. So just the 2 scoring shots through 20 minutes. So it's tight finals footy. We saw the games here yesterday were quite low scoring in the swirly wind in all 4 games. Taken there by Ives. Quick kick forward. Taken by Ollie Preshaw. Has to play on, says the umpire. Goes wide here, looking for Keegan Ryan. Bouncing ball. Ryan again with a second attempt. Lays the tackle there on Bennett. Keegan Ryan coughs it up. Throw, says the umpire.
Clarence is setting up really well in their defensive half. Like I was watching that ball prior to them clearing it, but they got 2 loose. Baker Smith being the primary one.
Theo Ives. Well, smothered there by Holmes. Now it spills to the veteran in Harper. Over the top. Handball looking for Holmes once again. Declan chugging the way. Holmes lays the tackle. Tap on to Gapin. He can't pick it up. Little toe poke by Ryan. They've gained territory there, Clarence. It's out of bounds. We'll get down now to Alec Croswell on the bench. Cros, what do you got for us?
Yeah, g'day, Foz. Very intense start down here from both teams, but the Clarence bench are up and about. They've come to play today, and no wonder why they've started like they have.
Okay, good signs early on. Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport. Over to you.
20 minutes gone here in this prelim. Green against Ives. Comes over the top to Gapin. He's set upon the youngster. The umpire said you've been set upon too much, too high, and it's going to be a free kick to him. So Max Gapin. He's going to go inside 50, long and tall. Here's the weapons alliance. Fall back, he gets a hand to it. Leaf Lang with a good battle against him.
They want deliberate. No.
Little palm down, and Leaf Lang will see it over. So boundary throw in. 22 minutes gone. North Launceston yet to score. We haven't said that much this year. Clarence 2 straight 12. I've noticed too, Max, that Ives has done a lot more ruck work in this first quarter than what he'd normally do. We'll get back to that. Alones is there. Nicholas out the back. Good by hand. Young. This has got to be a good kick. Borspoon. But it is a good kick and finds Mansell. He'll go by hand on the outside. He'll run and he'll go here now to Hubbard. Hubbard and Rickard and Ahern. They all look the same, Fozzle. Here's Pearce. He swings it really wide to Declan Chugg. Chugg chose to handball, could have kicked. Now he puts Nicholas under pressure, who puts him back under pressure in Chugg, who goes back to Nicholas, and now they've screwed it up, and it goes out of bounds left side. Got to go more direct, says King Moore. David Moore.
I know you agree with you, Max, but going wide like that in a day like this, not positive footy.
Well, the handball was one extra, wasn't it, Max? I thought.
Yeah, they put themselves under pressure. It was a great switch by Hubbard into the middle, and likewise again from Pearce. But then Chugg and who was the other one? Whoever it was out there.
Nicholas, Mitchie Nicholas.
Ended up being 2v3 and had to do the pressure act and just kick it long towards the boundary.
Here we go.
Declan Chugg kicks inside 50, but they're all there. Keegan Wiley, that's a mark, I say. Yes.
Every
Good
time
mark.
they've gone long, though, boys, it's been 3-on-1.
Yep.
Whether it's been Theo Ives and that. Alex Lee spending a lot of time out of the ruck, Max. We heard he was pretty sore. Could be a definite tactic that's needed today.
Baker Smith goes long to Norton, and Dave Gruber telling me there's 5 intercept marks to 1 this quarter, Clarence's
He's
way.
the best in the business, David Gruber.
And so 3 of those to Baker Smith and a couple to Wiley is now kicked up the line by Norton, looking out for the Al Holmes option. It's off hands and out of play. So we've been playing 23 and a half minutes, won't be a long quarter, just the 2 scoring shots. And both of those are goals to the Clarence Roots.
So is Lee off the ground at the moment,
He
Max?
is, yeah,
Yep.
he's
Just keep an eye on him down there for us, Big Krozelenko, if you don't mind.
As it's coming over now towards Simpson, but it's taken by Jack Preshaw, who's happy to be absorbing the tackle. Ball up. Today's umpires, by the way, we haven't mentioned that. Nathan Geeson, Tom McEntee and Brad Percy. Umpire Geeson puts it up. Comes out now here towards Karen Howlett. Little kick not effective. Hives dives in and he gets Proprotny high.
Of course, the umpires will be looking for a grand final spot
Absolutely.
as well, Fozzel. It's a big day for them.
Oscar Proprotny with the free kick. Yes, Ives just going in probably unnecessarily hard there. Kicks inside 50, it fades out towards the Al Holmes direction. Takes a mark on his chest. Up against Lockie Mitchell.
He's in such good form, Bryce Holmes.
Yep.
I watched him as a junior and he could just do this. His long arms, his long legs.
We saw him in a D-League final here, Max. Tear it apart.
At times, he comes along as a bit lazy or a bit lethargic because of the way he just cruises. But he's a talent.
He attacked that one. He wasn't lethargic
No.
then. At full stretch
My
to get
word.
to that one.
40 points the final margin, the Devils, unfortunately.
Bryce Al Holmes sets it up to the front of the goal. It's not a bad kick. It fades with a breeze. And Declan Chugg decides to handball it through. He was under pressure, deems the umpire. So it's 1 behind. First behind today from either team. 2-1-13. Clarence lead North Launceston yet to score.
Big long kick with that breeze that we're not quite willing to work out yet. I don't think it's as much as yesterday that was sort of an NTFA final.
Windsock suggesting it's going straight from the west across the ground towards the railway wing.
That's where that ball went. Ball up, Lee back on. Taken in the tackle. And it's going to be another ball up. 26 minutes gone. And North Launceston yet to score.
Don't see that very often, do we?
Let's see what happens second quarter if there is a breeze to that other end of the ground. But the clearances, we'll get those for Dave Gruber in a moment. But Baxter Norton gets another one. Harper dives. And it's either out of bounds. It is out of bounds. Clearances for Dave Gruber, please. Fozzie?
Yeah, we got North Launceston winning that one 8-6. So it's pretty even. And hit outs 14 to North Launceston, 9 to Clarence. So around those stoppages.
Inside 50s?
Inside 50s, we got North Launceston on 12 to Clarence 7.
But those intercept marks,
Yep.
and they've got their attack from there.
That was their strength. They limited Launceston to 2 goals last week. So they're right on top defensively, and they didn't let Tigers kick many the week before. So Manchanda now takes that kick, gets it here towards Cox Goodger, takes it his bootlaces on the half volley, tackled straight away by Howard, who is wearing him like a glove, Liam Howard, and it's quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. And the Roos off to a positive start. They lead 2-1-13. North Launceston yet to score, kicking to the the town end. Clarence were kicking to the Invermay Park end. We suspect North Lonnie might have had a slight breeze, but the kicks were going good distance both ways. Goal kickers to quarter time, Macca.
Yeah, Colin Garland and Bryce Holmes, David.
And the 2 goal kickers. And Max, your first thoughts at quarter time. The Roos are doing everything right at the moment.
Yeah, they are, Dave. They're looking very impressive at the moment. Their ball movement, the way that they're supporting each other. We've noticed it down here deep in the North Launceston forward line. Every time they got an entry, they were outnumbered each time, so they're pushing a couple of players back, which is really making it awkward for North Launceston. The first couple of minutes, North started extremely well. We've seen a couple of good hit-ups, and Cox Goodger take a mark out here in front of us. Unfortunately, he missed a lot on his shot, which we don't see very often either. And they just seem rushed at the moment, North Launceston. We've seen them switch the ball regularly already, but there's no composure with them at the moment. They just seem to be wanting to go, and I think that's playing into Clarence's hands, because they're certainly showing a great deal of leg speed, the Clarence on-ballers and the outside runners. They're making space for it. We saw, who was it? It was Ethan Hubbard take the ball on down through the middle. Thanks, Grooves. It's lolly time here. That's great. But and he got caught trying to bounce, getting the ball down, and they've just got to take a big deep breath. I think the Bombers settle down and just assess where they want to go. Like at the moment, they seem really confused. They'll kick long out wide. Yep. They'll try and chaos ball in there. There's no routine in what they're doing at all.
I think the positive sign is, Max, that without knowing the exact possessions, I think they've had enough of the football, North Launceston. As he's put the old teeth in, Max Walker. It's an improvement, Max. But no, they've had enough of the football. It's just their system and the Clarence defence and their half-backs pushing back to outnumber and get those intercept marks has been, one of their better options so far through Baker Smith.
Quarter-time statistics. North Launceston 15 hit-outs to Clarence 9. Clearances 8 to the Bombers, 6 to the Roos. Inside 50s 12-7 the Bombers' way. Just the 3 marks inside 50s inside 50 in that quarter. 2 to Clarence, 1 to North Launceston. Free kicks 13 to Clarence, 7 to North Launceston. And intercept marks, we mentioned that in the call. 5 to Clarence, 1 to North Launceston. It's quarter time here at UTAS Stadium, and at quarter time it's Clarence 2-1-13 leading North Launceston yet to score. We're back here in just a moment.
Play your cards right with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
I've been watching the decluttering TV shows and I've been inspired and motivated. My first task was to sort out old jewellery boxes from my mum, Auntie Jean and my own collection. Single gold earrings, broken and outdated gold jewellery. It's amazing how much I found. I took the lot to cash converters, received a very tidy amount of cash, and now I'm off to enjoy a nice little break with the proceeds.
Right now, cash converters are paying top prices for gold. So cash in your unwanted jewellery today. Cash Converters Kings Meadows, trusted and locally owned for 25 years. A proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
Do you or someone you love need a helping hand at home? Get the immediate home care help you need through Community Care Tasmania's Dial an Angel service. Help can be arranged for just a few hours or longer. Now you can buy Dial an Angel gift vouchers, the perfect gift for a loved one. Visit our website, cct.org.au. Dial an Angel care services delivered by people you can trust. Ring Dial an Angel now on 1300 722 400 or 6334 0990 or visit cct.org.au. At Community Care Tasmania, we put your care first. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
You're listening to great TSL action, Tasmanian State League football on City Park Radio.
Dave Moore here with you on City Park Radio with Matthew McGee, Michael Walker, Dave Gruber and Alec Croswell on the boundary. Macca, as Clarence lead by 13 points, what have you noticed down there?
I've noticed a couple of interesting onlookers down there at the Clarence huddle. Ethan Jackson been playing over in the mainland and played a couple of games this year at Clarence. We mentioned the Northern Bull Ants before through Baker Smith. His teammate, Zach Morris, the former Launceston superstar. He's there listening in, and next to him is the Richmond player, Sammy Banks, the former Clarence player as well, listening on. So all keen onlookers.
He did well in the back end of the season. Sam Banks made his debut and then kept his spot.
Great to see.
And I think he snuck up for goal there in one of the last couple of games. So well done to Sam Banks.
Another one that gives me nightmares after watching him get 34 possessions against us in a state final.
So for those who don't know, Matthew McGee is heavily involved with the St Pat's footy program.
Blair Brownless has already been on the text just to remind me.
Alec Croswell, he's just moved away now from the North Launceston huddle, and he's got some news from Brad Cox, Good News Address.
Yeah, Foz, Coach Cox Goodyear is not that disappointed with the boys so far. He thinks they've been pretty good around the ground, but falling down going inside 50. So they want to minimise that long dump kick straight to their spare defender and start getting even numbers around the contest as well. So they want to sort of lower their eyes going inside and hopefully just sort of pick off a few targets. Now on to Alex Lee. I've been assured that he's 100% fit. But judging by about the 27 kilos of tape he's got on him and the way he's moving, I don't know if that's quite accurate. So I'll keep an update on that for you.
Thank you, Alec. And,
I'm sure he's fit. I reckon he's just a bit sore, as you would be this end of the year, labouring all that that tape around, but he's had a big season again, Alex Lee.
Brad Cox-Goodyear echoed your thoughts, boys, about those forward entries.
We wrote him the script, Max.
Yep, we're on the ball.
It's not that hard a game sometimes, though, is it? Like, it's, they had enough of the footy. Had enough of the footy. Not great going forward. Enough inside 50s. Enough clearances. And the Clarence backline were the ones that really dictated play, and that's what it came down to.
They were the ones benefiting.
Yeah, I thought Clarence's tackle pressure, shutting down the space pretty quickly, was also really good as well.
Just repeating that earlier score, disappointing for the Devils, but a great season. We have to say that to make the preliminary final in the Coates Talent League, 40-point margin there. We'll talk to Darren Crawford at halftime.
Yeah.
And of course, that's got a few ramifications maybe for next week. Some of those Devils boys could be available for either Clarence or North Launceston.
Yeah, my word. Well, I know Jack Callanan, of course, for Clarence, and also for North Launceston it could be Oscar Van Dam, Harry Summers. Max Roney's in the mix there as well, and there's one other Fozzle.
Heath Ollington,
of course, the Northwest Coaster. So we'll keep our eye on the other preliminary final over there as well, Foz, because it'll star Riley Sanders, who will get underway in a moment for Sandringham.
Second quarter action, here's Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport.
Second quarter, Alex Lee thumps it, but reading it there is Baxter Norton. Good effort by Green at his feet. It now goes to Paprotny, just to the top of the 50, not quite out of the square. Couldn't get it, was Keegan Ryan. Coming through and doing well there for Clarence, inside 50, not quite. Declan Chug, they're looking to go here. Simpson didn't have it, the umpire didn't agree. He said play on. They've still got the numbers though, North Launceston. Avent, Nicholas to Chug, wants to go right, come back on his left, now goes right. Theo Ives, they just can't connect to mark forward, and Clarence are going to come away now. And it's going to come over here on the top, Gapin. Inside, right there is Ollie Preshaw. Deep, Garland looks dangerous. Garland and Alomes can't take it. Connie Young. North Launceston under pressure again. Simpson caught. Umpire says no. Goodness. He took that left step. Fozzie thought he was gone.
Oh dear.
He might have got away with one there, but it was
50-50.
Great tackling again. The umpire throws it up. Holmes and Lee. Comes down. Here's Norton. Snaps it on the left. It's one of those ones that could fall in the arms. It doesn't. It's well done by Mitchell. He goes by hands to Simpson and they're out.
Simpson, spearing pass, finds Oscar Mansell, who's drifted up the ground. Telegraphs the handball, now goes there to Fletcher Bennett on the boundary line. Kicks up the wing, Ahern. Can't quite take the mark with the one hand. Here's man Shannon roving nicely. Now to Simpson. Simpson in and Nicholas will be under pressure. Gets out of it nicely now. Back to man Shannon. Escapes the tackle nicely. Wormburner finds Hubbard. Kicks straight away inside 50. A lot of Clarence defenders back there. And there it is again. The intercept mark. It's the ruckman this time getting back, Sam Green. Very athletic mark in defence.
4v2 there. There was never going to be other outcome apart from Clarence marking it.
Short now to Harry Fisher. He goes wider. Borsboom takes a good grab, second attempt. So good movement out of defence by the Roos. Sideways kick. Finds James Beerley, who's under pressure. As a teammate there that was Liam Howard. He couldn't quite pick it up. So they mucked it up a bit there, Clarence, trying to get out of defence. In fact, they've given away a free kick to Brad Cox-Goodyear. 60 out. Takes advantage of the stand rule. Kicks to the square. Can someone take a grab? They can, and it's Ahern. Jack Ahern. Nice carry on the kick for Cox-Goodyear. And he's marked. He's trying to straighten up, but he's got to come back on the angle, but it should be no problem. Man on the mark, 2 metres out, and Ahern kicks the first goal for North Launceston. They're on the board here at UTAS Stadium. And the margin is back to 7 points. They're 1 goal straight 6. Clarence 2-1-13. And just that penetrating kick there from Cox-Goodyear setting up that goal.
Yep, you can certainly put that goal down to, we write it next to Jack Ahern's name, but it belongs to Cox-Goodyear. He knew what he needed to do there. Everyone misjudged it a little bit, and he knew the North player was over the back there. It probably a carry of, he was probably 10, 12 metres outside the arc there, so he's kicked it 65, 68 metres, which was an absolute ripper. It was a 2010 model kicker.
Absolutely. He's still got it in him.
Good, yeah, my word.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for all your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Here's Matthew McGee.
North Launceston go again. Here's Pearce. Inside 50, Leary. Getting across in front, doing well was the Clarence defender there in Keegan Wiley. He's going to see it towards the boundary line now. Wiley, and he's out of bounds. Left forward pocket.
There's a player unsighted in the first quarter, Brandon Leary. He is one that can lift and really start to make an influence.
Well, if he's a crumbing forward and leading forward, the ball's not really getting delivered in there when it's 4-on-1. So he needs things to go his way with the delivery, Brandon Leary. We have seen him when things have been stale down there sort of move up a little bit onto a wing. See if they do that today, just to give him a bit of electricity in and around the footy, which he does bring Leary. Clarence get the ball out. Noah Holmes sets. Little push, hands in the back. It's going to go to Lee. The hands were definitely there. Just a matter of the extent of the push. But Alex Lee's going to take the kick on centre wing. Drives it in. Ugly looking kick. Finger breaker. 1-2 bites of the cherry. I reckon he's taken a mark there. Has Cox Goodger? No.
He claimed it.
Who was it? Was it Cox
yeah,
Goodger? Was it?
Yeah,
was, yep.
Yeah, geez. He's looked at his fingers too. Because I reckon the way that ball went in.
He'll be letting the umpire know that no one else had that.
No, he did read it well because it wasn't pretty. Green. Second bite of the cherry for him out of mid-air. Mitchie Nicholas will look to get on the left. He's tackled and tackled well. Sulzberger goes again, gives it to Avent. It's not the 15, I don't believe. The umpire says play on it. It wasn't marked anyway. Here's Leary. Gets it on the foot. Doesn't get it all there. Ives at the top of the square. And Green sees it out of the attacking half.
Green, long kick. Gee, that was a good judge of a mark there to Borsboon. A couple of fine marks now on that far wing.
I like him out on the wing. Borsboon.
Left foot, spearing pass. And the lead up there, mark from Alomes. Too far out to score. He's 2 kicks out from goal. He's looking sideways, but he's going to go the long option. Up there is Holmes. Gets to a 50 and marks it. He's right on the 50. Connie Young is 49 metres out on the mark. Noah Holmes says, I'm going to have a look at this one. Mac, you've seen him kick a long time, over a long period of time.
Oh, don't talk to me about it.
Do you think he can kick this one?
Which way is the wind going? No, he can't.
Okay.
No, it's kicking right into it. It's kicking straight into the breeze.
Let's see. He twirls the ball in his hands.
You watch him making me look.
Here he goes. Kicks towards goal. Keeps it low. It is going to fall short. And Lee Flang knocks it through for a behind. 2-2-14. Clarence. 1 straight 6 North Launceston. Max.
Just one for Crosser down there on the boundary. I was just watching Jack Preshaw get through the little fitness thing by one of their trainers. Looked like a left ankle or something, but he'll confirm that for us.
We'll get to Cross at the next stoppage. It's off hands now to Wiley. Over to Bush. Straight away kick. Gapin's there, but there's a lot of North Launceston defenders. Bales didn't take the mark. Mopped up though by Bennett. Gets it back in as Fletcher Bennett. Shares it with Simpson. Dodges around. Kicks here for Pearce. Nearly takes the mark. Proprotny couldn't pick it up. We'll now have a stoppage and we can get down to Alec Croswell.
Yeah, Fros, Max is right. Jack Preshaw came off. He's been off about nearly all this quarter with a left ankle or foot complaint. He looks right to go after having it restrapped though.
Thanks, Alec.
We might get that trainer down there to give you another fitness test at half-time, Alec, just to get you through the second half. Free kick. It's going to be a free kick to North. No, it's going to go to Clarence. Didn't see that one. William Bush is going to take the free kick. No, goes beyond him. Proprotny's got it. So it was off the ball. Proprotny. Nice kick. They've done that well today. Oh, good mark. They look for 50 now. It's Bush. So Bush is looking for someone running past. No one there. I'll try and get it to that spot. He goes short to Holmes, but it's out of bounds. Ended up on the fence, and it's going to be a kick back into play by Connor Young. Sandringham score 1-1-7. They trailed Geelong Falcons 1-2-8. Riley Sanders 5 handballs already. Lee gives it to Sulzberger. Down the wing, Leary. It was Ahern that really took it out of his hands. Gives it to Griffiths. Pearce is on. He's got 20 metres in front of him. If it sits, he'll step inside Pearce. Oh, he fumbles. And it's going to cost him a shot at goal. It's a really good defensive effort by Clarence. The umpire says play on. And out of defence comes Ollie Preshaw.
Yeah, it was James Bealey with that big
Bealey,
tackle.
my word.
Now it's back to Manchannon, though. Short kick for Griffiths. Extends the arms. Well done, Keegan Wiley. He's happy just to handball it through for a behind. 1-1-7 North Launceston. Clarence 2-2-14. Dave Gruber's stats, 6 inside 50s to 3 the Bombers' way. They've lifted since quarter time. Keegan Wiley.
Geez, that was good defensive effort, Max. He stepped inside. Pearce looked to snap. Shut him down quick.
Yeah, we talked about James Bealey and that team of the year. You can see why with that effort. Baxter Norton, beautiful pass here from Keegan Wiley. Spotting him up in the centre square. Short now to Murrell. Tommy Murrell goes sideways. Here looking for Jack Preshaw. Had that injury concern that Alex spoke about. Short up here to Alomes. It's Bush. Can't take the mark. Lays the tackle though on Leaf Lang. Mansell's tackled by Proprotny. Ball says the Clarence crowd, and the umpire McEntee agrees. Free kick. Another big tackle, this time from Oscar Proprotny, who's moved into the midfield this year for Clarence and is doing a fine job. Kick's not bad here, looking for Green. Can't take the mark, he's tackled by Sulzberger, somehow gets a handball away. Gapin to Harper. He's wrestled to the ground by Lockie Mitchell.
Geez, they were lucky there, North Launceston. They left a massive hole for Green to lead into. If it happens again, they all thought he was going to go deep. But I'll tell you what, they looked to hit up Green. All they had to do was mark it. He would have had a shot.
Green's everywhere at the moment. He's taking marks at both ends of the ground. Holmes now a free kick in the ruck contest. It's going to be against Noah Holmes. It's going to Alex Lee.
Alex Lee, we're hearing battered and bruised, but 100% fit, which is great. He's a war horse and he's a very influential player in this competition. Leary, quick hands out to Mansell. Mansell gives it to Griffiths. There is no one inside 50, but he fumbles like Pearce did, and it just makes it hard because now he's set upon. And they're away, Clarence. Bush.
Whoa.
Tackle. Griffiths gets him back.
Second effort.
Good effort, Harvey Griffiths. Was in the mix for Team of the Year. Was mentioned in selection. Here it comes over the top. And it's Mansell getting out the back, and Mansell will take a shot for goal about 35 on a slight angle when he gets it. Yes, Fozzel?
I'm just saying, it just shows you, if you're a long player watching that, second effort's important. He was obviously disappointed with the fumble, but he went aggressively at the tackle, ended up winning the ball.
It was a great tackle, wasn't he? Just stopped him in his tracks. Yep.
So Oscar Mansell just gets under the guard at times, doesn't he, Oscar Mansell? He's improved and he's become a really a solid player at TSL senior level after coming back from South Australia. So Oscar Mansell steps in now, starts it right. It's going to continue to go right with that breeze. And it goes out of bounds off hands, right forward pocket.
So 11 and a half minutes gone. You'll listen to City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. Hope you're enjoying our coverage. We'll be at North Hobart next week. Not sure the start time yet. I'm hoping to get an exclusive before the end of the game. I'll put out some feelers. Now, Bruce McAvaney exclusive about
you're very much the same.
Grand final start
Bruce
time.
McAvaney here in Tasmania, Foz, so I'd imagine you'll get it.
We'll see how we go. I'm waiting for a text message. Those that are listening in the
he's got the bat phone.
Halls of Power, North Hobart.
Bat phone to Gilly down at head office.
Here we go. Comes out now to Proprotny, inside out kick. Bouncing towards the wing. Nice little knock on. I think it was Ollie Preshaw there it was. Nearly gathered it in. But they've made some ground out of half back and now it's on centre wing, on the railway wing. Beautiful day here in Launceston. Patrons over there in the sunshine.
Speaking of the grand final, Foz, while we've got this thrown, I've heard that one of us has made ourselves unavailable for the big one.
Yes, I won't discuss that as it's come back in.
And it's not me.
And it's not me. Here we go now with Jared Harper. Torpedo punt towards half forward and Fletcher Bennett getting out in front. He's getting on top of Garland, who kicked a goal early, but hasn't featured much recently. Nice little kick to Lee, who's covering the ground okay. His kick looking for Griffiths right on the boundary line. Did it stay in? No, it's flipped out. So we're back on centre wing once again.
I'll put my hand up. That's me. I'm unavailable, but I did. At least I went to Hobart today already. And, I'm not going down twice in 2 weeks.
As the instructions said, boundary throw in, Lee, Green, good battle. It's going to be another free kick in the ruck. I reckon that's the third for the quarter. This one's got to go to, it's just strength. It's going to go to Green. Lee sort of put the arms out with strength, and the umpire said it was a Shepherd. Ball spoon, been good on the left foot. Comes through now. Inside 50, but Leaf Lang, he's going to take the defensive mark. Good hit up, Mansell. Just Colby Whitelaw there, just had to do more with the footy. Connor Young. He's going to come out wide. Leaf Lang puts the big mitts up. Griffiths, dangerous. Goes out of bounds. Does William Bush in front of Alec Krozelenko.
It's been okay, William Bush. He had some injury concerns earlier in the year, but it looks a likely type. Good, moves well.
Kroz will get a smell of the leather as the boundary umpire is going to throw it in. Noah Holmes moves into the ruck against Lee. North Launceston 1 straight 6. Clarence 2-2-14. They kicked the first 2. It's been a while since they've kicked that second one though. This could be it. Noah Holmes.
Oh, he caught one as
Caught
he got
one
rid of
from
it.
Sulzberger, and it finds Alomes anyway. So Bryce Alomes has got Garland long. Oh, it's a barrel, and it's gone into row 1. It's fallen in the middle of the fence between the signings. It's going to be hard to get out.
It is.
No, it's not
The
actually.
long arms of Connor Young.
Long arms of Connie Young will get it out. TAC score or NAB League score. No, what's it called now? Coates League score. Sandringham 15, Geelong 8. Riley Sanders watch. Still the 5 handballs.
From fullback, Bennett has an easy take there. Nicholas has been a busy player. Been in good form since he returned back from the Devils. Goes sideways now to Bennett. They've really tightened up this quarter, the North Launceston back line. We know that they're fairly miserly. And since 2 early goals, they've really shut the gate on Clarence. But they need to score themselves. They're behind in this contest. Noah Holmes takes on 3. He releases it somehow to Keegan Ryan. He might have got pushed in the back, but the umpire says no.
I'll tell you who else has been miserly, Foz, and that's the Clarence back line. The Clarence back line all year, apart from Launceston getting hold of them once and North Launceston a couple of times, they've really been managed to keep every other side around about that 10 goals. So if they can do that today, they're a massive chance to beat North Launceston. It was a Pierce kick, but it's cut off by the Clarence defender in Colby Whitelaw, but he's been set upon. But the umpire says no, it was illegal, and it's going to be a free kick. And Colby Whitelaw going to come out wide to Jack Preshaw. Just gets over Harvey Griffiths. They set up Noah Holmes. Geez, he's working harder today. Noah Holmes sticks him up, the big jukes. Pops the pill, and he takes the mark, Noah Holmes. Holmes. Down the line. Up, 2, 3 bites of the cherry. Ollie Preshaw. Umpire doesn't call it. Clarence supporters not happy. And let it be known, here's Simpson. He's going to get it over the top, and it's going to be a good mark and cut off at the back line by Baker Smith.
Baker's the call.
Baker is the call. Garland sets. 2-on-1, can't take it. Comes down here now, Clarence forward, Kieran Howlett. Howlett misses. So 2-3-15 Clarence, North Launceston 1 straight 6.
Kieran Howlett returned to the club from Claremont this year. He started the year there, but he might have a crack at the grand final if they can get over today with the Roos. It's in the back line here now for North Launceston. Little kick forward taken by Simpson. Simpson overcooks his kick, falls to Keegan Wiley. We know he can kick a ball. He's 70 out, sets it up, looking for Ollie Preshaw. Diving in there, the North Launceston defender did well. And that's going to be a ball up.
Free kick.
Sam Simpson involved there. That passage of play. He's worked his way into the side this year, and it's a free kick here to Declan Chugg. Chugg now cruises off. Goes short, looking there for a vent, but Keegan Wiley again, the second chop out mark, and he'll pump it back in. Having a real influence on the game at the moment is Keegan Wiley. Had a great season. His kick's not great on this occasion. He kicks out of bounds on the full. Tom Murrell took it over the line. So what are we now? 18 minutes gone. It's Clarence 14. Will lead North Launceston 1 goal straight 6. Inside 50s for Dave Gruber this quarter. 9 to Clarence, 7 to North Launceston. Sam Simpson kicked a goal last week. Goes wide. Wiley's there again. Baker Smith smacks it back. Here's Wiley. That's his third inside 50 entry. And this time it's good, or no, it's not, as Ollie Preshaw couldn't quite take the mark.
fumbled what he should have took there. There was no pressure on him, Ollie Preshaw, to mark that one, and no one within 5 metres of him. He could have been another forward entry for the Clarence Roos.
Boundary throw in. Falls short. Ives was there. Green takes it. Has support from Norton. Over the top again to Wiley. That is 4 inside 50 entries. Keegan Wiley. Murrell. Smart little kick here. Might come off. How will it bounce? Harry Fisher drifts forward. He takes it. He needs support. Handball over the top. Here's Gapin. Smart play, Gapin. The snap. Just missed near side. One behind. They might rue these couple of opportunities, Clarence. They lead now 2-3-15. North Launceston 1 goal straight 6.
Interesting, Max. Bradley Cox-Good just set himself as the deepest forward, which is going to be dangerous if they can get it to him. But at the moment, having no influence on the play. This is another turnover. Clarence will get another repeat inside 50 for Dave Gruber. Fletcher Bennett. It's going to be a ball up.
He's probably thinking he doesn't have the leg speed to go and support him in the middle anymore, does he? So he's just going to...
I don't know. He's got the influence, I think, to play a bit higher than that.
Keegan Wiley just remains loose there in that same spot.
Yeah, they throw one up at the stoppage. He's been manned up at the moment, but Baker Smith and Whitelaw now, you see. So
coming back. And
they'll always throw one back behind the footy, Clarence. And North Launceston, therefore, have got one extra at the stoppage, which means they probably should win it. But all they're going to do is kick it to Clarence. Borsboom and Mansell, they fight top of the square. Intriguing game, Max. Low scoring. All on the line.
It is. I'm just watching Cox-Good. He's screaming at his players to come back on and go one-on-one because Keegan Wiley's back there, and we see Hubbard now just running back to him.
Good pick up. Coming from the clearance is Nicholas on his non-preferred. Finds Mansell. Mansell will go back to Mitch Nicholas. Started the season in the Devils as an overager. As the rules have it, though, he had to step out of that program. Much to North Launceston's delight, to be honest, for their side. And he hits up and finds Avent. Avent, he's got Sulzberger on short. He's got to go. He'll switch onto the left now after he dropped the mark. It's an up and under kick. 1, 2 bites of the cherry, can't get it to Hearn. Simpson by handman Shandon. Been virtually unsighted, the crafty forward. And the umpire's going to ball it up. I'll tell you about Jack Ahern. I was down at St Brendan Shaw during the week, and his sister, Lucy Ahern, is a basketballer. She's been away with the Australian side. She was in the school gym shooting 3-pointers like I eat lollies.
Sam Green wins it out of the contest. There to Matt Shandon, though.
She was downing them. 3-pointer after 3-pointer. She's a talented one, Foz. Have you seen her at all in the
not in the Tawns yet, but I'm certainly aware of it.
Get her there, Foz. You've got influence there too. With the Tawns selection. Man Shandon. Just give him a rip. He might kick a goal now. The little fella, Man Shandon. No, he won't. He does a ground grubber. Not great, and it's going to be turned over, and Clarence go.
Jared Harper with a long clearing kick, finds Alones, and he has to wait for support. They all run forward. He's got Garland on a one out there with his opponent, but getting in the hole there was Fletcher Bennett.
Just couldn't quite get it over the top.
He clears it now to Sam Simpson, takes the mark. Dinky little kick now to Leaf Lang, who sort of misjudges it, can't pick it up. Now Borsboom the other way, looks here for Howlett. Sam Simpson got an important hand in the contest with Declan Chugg, actually. He now gets it to Bennett. Handball wide on the boundary line. Leaf Lang shorts it up. And he's got a teammate there in Hubbard who takes the mark. He's going to slow things down a little bit. Sideways back to Sam Simpson. It's a battle of the back lines. It's a cliche, but it certainly is today. Now the kick comes to Leary. Kick straight away on the left to man Shandon. He's 2 kicks out from goal. Better kick this time as he finds Bales. Injury concerns through the year. Leg injury. Goes short here. Jack Avent is taking a few marks right on that attacking 50. There's not a lot of space ahead of him, so he might go the long option. No, he shorts it up. Finds Bales. Now Bales can kick a footy, and he may be a chance. Man on the mark. Here he goes now. Gets to 48, Harry Bales launches, always left, one behind. North Launceston 1-2-8, Clarence 2-4-16, 23 minutes gone.
So Clarence yet to kick a goal this quarter. They've still been okay, just haven't been able to connect with their forwards. What are those inside 50s? for Dave Gruber.
We've got 11 to Clarence and 9 to North Launceston, so
Yes,
a pretty even quarter.
Plenty of footy. 11 times without having to score, though, is score a goal. Isn't great efficiency. Colby Whitelaw, he switches to Brian. Comes out over the back here now. And finds, who are we looking at?
Nick Bealey.
Nick Bealey, number 60. I was looking for 50 files. I couldn't see it. Thought you'd muck the sheet up again. No, he's down the line. Noah Holmes, Fletcher Bennett. Holmes, one. Can't get a second bite of the cherry because Alex Lee punches it forward. Sulzberger taken high. Avon will play on advantage. Can they connect? Yes, they can. Great mark. Oscar Mansell. He's been a winner so far as Oscar Mansell. He's beyond him, though. He's right on 50. He'll have to kick. Oh, now he gets to have a look. He's going to have to kick this now without running around on any angles. He'll kick from pretty much between the square and the 50, so 55 metres.
A big barrel.
You want a big barrel from the youngster? The wind is at his back, going left to right. North Launceston. Oscar Mansell. He goes the maxi barrel. No, he doesn't. Well beyond him. So, a bit of a nothing quarter in the fact of goal kickers. It was 1 goal to North Launceston, which went to Ahern. And it's Clarence, 2-4-16. They kicked 3 points for the quarter. And North Launceston kicked 1 goal, 2 to Ahern. The goal kickers earlier on were Garland and Alomes. And it's an 8-point lead to Clarence at half-time in a pretty intriguing sort of battle that you don't quite know whether North Launceston are on. Clarence seem on, but haven't put it on the scoreboard.
So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough sort of second half here based on this first half. Just 3 goals kicked, a really even tussle, anybody's game, and a big prize to play for. So both teams jogging off the ground now. We'll get Dave Gruber's stats. Don't forget, after our break in a moment, we're going to catch up with Darren Crawford, the assistant coach of the Tasmania Devils, who were knocked out in the preliminary final today by the Eastern Rangers. So the stats to half-time hit-outs. North Launceston 9-4 in that quarter. They're leading 24-13. So Alex Lee doing a good job there. The clearances are even, though, 14 apiece. They were 6-8 in that quarter, Clarence's way. Inside 50s, 22 to North Launceston and 18 to Clarence. Marks inside 50. North Launceston had 5 marks inside 50. That quarter, a lot of them were right on the edge of 50. So they have 6 for the game. Clarence have 3. And free kicks, 17 to Clarence, 15 to North Launceston. Intercept marks, 4 each in that quarter. 9 to Clarence, 5 to North Launceston. The Clarence supporters giving their team a well-deserved clap off the ground. Because, when you play away in a final like this, Max, you want to get off to a good start, and they certainly did that, Clarence. And they've held North Launceston, but there's a long way to go in this game.
Yeah, there is a long way to go, Dave, and I've been impressed with the way that I spoke about earlier, the way they move the ball, and their back structure is really impressive at the moment. If it's not Baker Smith, it's someone like Whitelaw being allowed to play loose behind the ball, and it just gives North Launceston no option, because the pressure that they're getting through the midfield, they haven't had the chance to lower the eyes and see a lead up forward. There's been no lead up by Leary. Probably, in all honesty, Mansell's been their best forward so far.
I think he's been really good. He's played a bit on a wing too, Max.
He has, yep. Bennett's been good for them down back. He's, as usual, you expect him to be able to put his body in places where you, as a parent, you cringe and think he's going to get smashed, but he's held up. And the pressure of Clarence so far, making North Launceston fumble balls that
they've been under pressure all the time.
Yeah, they have. They have, and that's a great credit to Clarence.
But guess what? The margin's only 8 points.
I know. Yeah.
This is what I worry for Clarence. Yep. Is that the margin is only 8 points. It feels at least 28 points. Yeah. To be honest, the way that the game, I believe Clarence have got the game on their terms, as they say.
But you need scoreboard pressure.
You do, and I just don't think they've capitalised.
Okay, half-time here at UTAS Stadium, the preliminary final for 2023. It's Clarence 2-4-16, North Launceston 1-2-8. And we hope after the break to be catching up with Darren Crawford, the assistant coach of the Tasmania Devils. Back in just a moment.
Play your cards right with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Barrett's Music is proud to support music in Tasmania in many forms. In fact, we've been supporting music in our community for decades. We value music participation in Tassie, so we can help you get started with expert advice on hand. With a wide range of instruments in stock, plus great learning resources and interest-free purchase plans, we can help you discover the music in you. Call into Barrett's at 104 George Street, Launceston, or phone 6331 9355. Barrett's Music, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Mr. Lotto here. If you need Lotto, we're open. If you need post, we're open. If you need magazines, we're open. In fact, we're open for everything, pretty much all of bleeding time. And weekends.
Thanks, Chris.
Good, innit? So, what are you waiting for? Come on in the main news agency, serving you when you need us most. Terry Bye, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Welcome back to UTAS Stadium at City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5. We're bringing you the TSL all year here in Northern Tasmania, and it's a really interesting contest here at half-time. Clarence 2-4-16, leading North Launceston at 1-2-8. Today it was the preliminary final at the Queen Elizabeth Oval in Bendigo, and it was our Devils 11-2-68. They went down to the Eastern Rangers 16-12, 108 by 40 points. They got within 8 points there in the third quarter, but unfortunately Eastern Rangers drew away. But really kind of him to give us his time straight after the game. Darren Crawford, the assistant coach. We welcome him to City Park Radio. Darren, congratulations on a great season. Just couldn't quite get the job done today.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, boys. Look, we just sort of spoke briefly after the game there, and we wanted to really highlight the success of the group and the credit of where we've come from as a new group this year, and to obviously finish the season as minor premiers was a terrific result, and the first time that a Tasmanian team was able to achieve that. Unfortunately, today just didn't go our way. Full credit to Eastern. They were just tougher for longer and just used the football more efficient, particularly in the forward half of the ground, and we were able to capitalise on their chances. So, very disappointed, as we all are, but at the same time, we're over the moon with the contributions from the whole group, and not only the group today, but everyone that's played a role throughout the season.
Yeah, Croft, Macca here, mate. Commiserations for today. Just looking at the stats for today, Croft, you mentioned that everything was pretty even, like disposals were even, marks were even, tackles, free kicks, hit-outs were pretty even. Rangers, though, got the inside 50 count quite easily. Was it just that efficiency that you mentioned was the issue today, the use of the footy?
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on, Macca, and thanks for having me on again today, mate. You're spot on. I just think they just were able to just really utilise, their opportunities when they went forward, and their ball use was just, really crisp and very, very neat and polished. And the damn wall will eventually break with those inside 50s, and our backs, to their credit, have held up really strong, and we managed to get it to almost to within a kick of the last quarter, and it felt like the game was about to change, but they had a bit of a slight breeze going with the last, and we made some positional changes to obviously go for the win, and it just didn't come off, which is it's all part of the game, and it was just we ruled our opportunities that we were able to miss. There was a few shots early on in the game that we had those. It might have put a little bit of scoreboard pressure on, but it wasn't to be.
It's been a massive campaign, Croft. I don't know how many weeks it's been since you played in Tassie. It's been quite a few, but having to travel, and not only travel on the plane this time, but also go to Bendigo. It's been a big, 5 or 6 weeks for these lads. Something had to give, I suppose, in the end.
Yeah, we had a bit of a chat as coaches just briefly, and it just sort of felt like we'd sort of run our race, to be frank.
Yeah.
I think finishing on top of the ladder would have been really nice if we were able to to get a home final and have our home support down there in Tassie, but wasn't to be. It wasn't any excuse at all. But they were just far better than us today. But the scheduling is really tough, and it's still probably something that they're looking to obviously rectify and make some slight adjustments to that moving forward. And I think travelling on bus up here for a couple of hours was also a little bit different yesterday, and then obviously having a bit of a light catch and a kick yesterday. I just felt like the boys were just a bit heavy, just under the legs today, and just couldn't really get that bounce and zip going. And it was, it's a warm day. It's 26 here today, so it's been a beautiful day here in Bendigo. But I just feel like we've just run our race.
And talk to us about some of the better players today. We saw James Leake once again kick a couple of freaky goals, 2 goals to him. Schoenmaker with his 25 and lots of rebound 50s. Great to see McKercher back, although on limited sort of minutes and limited midfield time. And Callanan, great to see him with 3 goals as well. Were they some of the better players today, and was there anyone else that outside those main ones that did okay?
No, spot on. Like Luke was he was instrumental for us, and it would have been nice if we were able to use him here, there, and everywhere, and have one of him at half back and one of him at half forward, and even through the middle at times. So, he's a super talent, which we've highlighted on numerous occasions, and he's got a big future moving forward, and no doubt he'll come into an AFL system and have a real impact straight away. I feel, having that flexibility to play in multiple roles. As you touched on before, Callanan was really effective playing a bit more forward for us today. He's another one that's put himself forward in recruiters' eyes, and I feel that he could be like a late 3rd or 4th rounder. And Ari's had a terrific second half of the year. Can't really fault that. He's really put his name up there, and he's obviously his ability to kick the football, hold him in really good stead. I feel at AFL level, and he's really tightened up on his defence this second half of the year. So. Full credit to him, and all the boys that have put their names forward in the scheme for the draft. It's going to be really exciting for them to go away and represent at the draft camp and put their best foot forward. And hopefully we're watching them all next year.
I don't know where you're personally at the moment physically. Are you still at the game at the moment at Sandringham Geelong, or have you hit the road?
No, we're still here, so we're just watching Sandringham playing against the Falcons. Sandringham are up by 2 points midway through the second quarter, and our boys have just gone for a bit of a light walk and a bit of a stretch over in the pool just next door. So we'll hit the road probably at half time, probably in the next 10 or so minutes, and then we've got a bit of a slow trip back, so a couple of hours on the bus, and then we've got a long wait in Melbourne, not leaving until like 9 o'clock tonight. So. She'll be a late one. The
Clarence and North boys will keep a little eye on this preliminary final to see if they get a game next week in a grand final.
Yeah, the boys they certainly take good interest in their local clubs, and I'm sure they'll be on the live stream here shortly, keeping a close eye, and then hopefully putting their hand up to play for either side that happens to get through.
And Corf, what are some of the boys that will probably play for the Devils next year that we can look forward to? So who is the next era of players coming through?
Yeah, we actually did speak to our 17-year-olds, just kept them in as a group, and there's some terrific talent coming through that we sort of highlighted the fact that our top age boys had really built the foundation for the group and the club that we represent in Tasmania, and now the foundation's there for our 17s to come through and take the mantle. And young Harry Elmer from up the northwest coast, he's an exciting prospect. He's a small sort of defender, but will hopefully turn into a really promising midfielder. You've got the 2 Ling boys from down south. They're sort of hard runners. They're all pretty small, these boys, so we're hoping there's a bit of tall timber coming through from our under-16. But, so obviously there's some boys coming through that have got good experience now in what the program entails, but it'll really be about getting back to work in the pre-season, really developing their bodies, getting in the gym and getting nice and strong, because I really feel that the 17-year-olds for the Eastern today were just far stronger and bigger, and were just really able to stick tackles or even break out. So that'll be a real clear focus for us moving forward.
One of those 17-year-olds, Croft, of course, didn't play today, and Ollie Dean's been selected to play in the Futures game on Grand Final Day at MCG. So a 200-plus centimetre young ruckman, big thrill for him.
Yeah, and Oliver's had an outstanding year, and unfortunately, his selection didn't go his way today. We just felt because they weren't as tall, we just sort of needed to go with the one ruck. But Oliver's had an outstanding year as playing as that second ruck, and he's also he'll take that number one mantle next year, and great reward for effort. We really sort of sat down with Oliver and really looked at this year just being a development year, and he's far exceeded those expectations, and full credit to him getting that opportunity on grand final day, and we'll be certainly keeping a close eye on how he goes. Great learning experience, and I'm really looking forward to seeing his development over the next 12 months.
And Corf, we discussed James Leake earlier. Are you looking for the next James Leake, the next player that might not be involved with the Devils program at the moment, but you're hearing on the grapevine could be you're showing a bit of ability at regional level or at TSL Development League level? Are you still looking for players that might be able to join the program late?
Absolutely. There's always those stories that you find of a player coming in and having a real impact, and that's just purely through them playing really consistent footy at local level, and it doesn't need to be at TSL level. It could be just playing for their local club at NTFA or NTFL. So we're always looking for that. Got plenty of people that watch games of footy, and we watch a lot of film, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there's another James Leake running around. We'd certainly love that moving forward.
Well, mate, the players are starting to come back on the ground here. Look, congratulations. Please pass on to all the coaches and everybody involved with the Devils this year. A second magnificent season in a row. I mean, every season's a great one, but to make the prelim final 2 years in a row is a real credit to the program. So on behalf of City Park Radio, to Jeremy and all the coaches there, well done on a fantastic season.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for having us, and thanks for the support. I know the players were, they were extremely disappointed with the result. Didn't go their way, but they gave it their all, and they should be really proud. So thanks for everyone back home for supporting us throughout the year, and hopefully next year we can go one further.
Darren Crawford for City Park Radio, joining us this afternoon, assistant coach of the Devils. We thank him very much, and well done on the season. And we'll be taking a short break now here on City Park Radio. Back in just a moment.
Play your cards right with new LPG deals from Elgas. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Go online, www.elgas.com.au.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Victoria's Cosmetic Clinic are proud to present our brand new location at 12 Penquite Road in Newstead. And with easy on-site parking, it's never been more convenient to visit us at Victoria's. As a special welcome to our new clinic location, we're offering all City Park Radio listeners a gift for visiting us as a new customer for hydrofacials, sunspot and facial capillaries treatments, and much more. Mention this ad to our friendly staff and join our Victoria's family today. Victoria's, a proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
We know how busy you are in the community. It's meant sometimes you miss out on us, your community radio station. Now you don't have to. With Community Radio Plus, catch the latest news updates, listen to podcasts, join us live with the Community Radio Plus app.
Community radio is listener-supported radio. We're City Park Radio.
Whatever you're doing, take us with you. Community Radio Plus, your home of community radio. Download from the App Store or Google Play.
You're listening to Tasmanian State League Football on City Park Radio.
Welcome back to UTAS Stadium. Dave Moore, Matthew McGee, also Michael Walker, Dave Gruber, and on the boundary is Alec Croswell. And what do you got for us halftime news, Alec?
Yeah, Foz, not a lot overall for the news department. They're pretty healthy both sides, which is a good thing. But Clarence coach Peter Ryan, very happy with the way they've played so far. But he does understand it's only a half of football. So he expects North to come out really, really hard this quarter. And they just want to weather the storm and then build from there. He's very happy with their pressure. He thinks the more pressure, the more North cough it up, which is leading to scoring opportunities. But going forward, they just want to get the ball in a little bit quicker. So roll on, get it into the one-on-ones, because you've got the likes of Garland down there who they think could beat their opponent if they get their supply. So they're relatively happy down here.
Fantastic. And conditions down there, Alec?
Oh, magnificent. Files, the wind has actually dropped a little bit, I think, so barely any breeze. Sunshine is magnificent. The ground is gorgeous as always.
Thanks, mate. We'll hear from you during the third quarter.
Thanks, boys. Alec
Croswell there, our boundary rider on City Park Radio. So both teams warming up, and as Alex said, both teams with no injury concerns to halftime. The 6-day break, boys, do you think they'll have any effect on the team that gets through today? Or you think at this time of the year the fitness levels and the recovery is such that won't make much of a difference?
Well, I think, I don't think it'd have a great deal of influence at all, Dave. Especially the way footy's played at the moment, it's more about the fatigue rather than injuries. Like injuries that people get are more hamstrings or something like that. It's not, apart from Alex Lee, who's battered and bruised because that's the position he plays.
Yep.
But it's so open, free running. It's not congested footy. So these guys, they'd be worn out, as in at the end of this game they'll be tired more than sore, I would have thought. And then what's tomorrow? Monday, Tuesday they'll do recovery. Clarence are probably lucky. They've got Belrive Beach over the back of where they are, so they'll go and get in the water, all those type of things, and the ice bars and so forth. So, look, there wouldn't be any advantage or disadvantage to either side, I don't think, for whoever fronts up next week against the Tigers.
So, Macca, what are you expecting in the first 10 minutes of this quarter?
Well, I'm expecting more of the same from Clarence with pressure on the football. I just think North Launceston still have got improvement, and I still worry that Clarence haven't hit the scoreboard as much as they could have from their inside 50s. So I wouldn't be, we was maybe talking a bit doom and gloom a little bit about North Launceston, but to be 8 points down at half time, not playing great footy, not connecting. But Clarence, geez, I tell you what, they obviously just don't like playing at Windsor Park. Because that's where I saw them twice this year, and they were horrible, disinterested, didn't want to move the footy. But, gee whiz, they're a different side today, and they've still got a lot more effort to up forward. Like, they haven't really connected with their forwards either. If it comes down late in the game, I think that their big forwards, like Alomes and Garland and Holmes, they might still be there tall enough in that last quarter. Of course, Baker Smith controlling things down back. So, look, North Launceston, they're going to have to connect. I'd like maybe Leary to be one out, maybe in defence, and just see what he can do. Push everyone up, leave Leary down there one out.
City Park Radio Sport, Nathan Geeson, the umpire, has the ball, and he's about to bounce it down or throw it up for the third quarter. Here's Matthew McGee.
Lee and Green, it's Lee. Only goes as far as Clarence, though. Inside 50, yes, for Dave Gruber. First one for Clarence. Garland's there, and he's tackled. So first one.
First clearance there to Norton.
Yeah, back to Norton, good on the left.
Player.
So inside 50. Holmes gets it into space. Alomes will come from one direction. There he goes, he gives it over the top. Can't get the kick there is Kieran Howlett. And Fletcher Bennett, as the boys mentioned, half-time's probably been one of, if not the best defender there for North Launceston today. And he goes out of bounds right forward pocket. So if you just joined us at half-time, Clarence 2-4-16, North Launceston 1-8. It is a fine day, a little bit of breeze, but a lot of finals pressure, hence the scoreboard. The game may open up as the players start to fatigue. Simpson, dangerously across goal. Your old coach in the juniors would say, don't do that, son. But he gets away with it, and it comes out there in the bounce to Hubbard. Hubbard, he'll find Manshandon. Manshandon will twist, he'll turn, he'll go down the line to Griffiths, working hard as a high half forward. And it's a good tackle from Nick Bealey, and it will go out of bounds in front of the coach's box for Clarence.
Alec Croswell sent me some information on the NTFA Premier Division best and fairest. So when we get a chance, because I haven't got time to read his photo that he sent me, I'll get him to give us the top three in that maybe at the next stoppage. So get ready for that one, Alec.
Just don't put him too much to do today, Croswell. No. He's under a fitness cloud.
Boundary throw in Lee, flips it over the back, looking for Simpson, taken though by Norton. That's Simpson once again, kicks it forward to Griffiths. Couldn't quite get her hands to the ball. Manshannon from the spillage, gets towards goal now. It's across the face.
There's been a few of them today.
Yeah, he probably had a bit more time. We saw that yesterday in the NTFA Grand Final. We had shots on goal fade a lot with that breeze, and that was another one then from Manshannon. So it'll be a relieving free kick for out of bounds on the full. Feeling that's Baker Smith back there. It is. A few of the boys in the long sleeves. Baker Smith now goes wide. That's a lovely mark. Taken there by Declan Chuggy. Plays on immediately. Kicks to the goal square. Ives the back position. But Baker Smith read it well and took another saving mark. It's about his fourth or fifth intercept mark today. And he's in the defensive goal square. Smith goes wide. Looking for Holmes. Couldn't take it. Rove well by Mansell to Young to Avent. Wheels around. Caught by Bealey, who is a tackling machine, James Bealey. Play on to advantage now with Paprotny. Over the top to Kieran Howlett. Back to Paprotny. He has a wider option. I think it's Alomes over there. He handballs over the top to Harper. Can they find a chest here with the kick? Looking here for Keegan Ryan, who takes it. No. Umpire says...
That's another one of those.
Contested ball. Gee, it was a... They had their backs to us, so I'll go with the umpire there. It was Simpson and Ryan who took that mark simultaneously, said the umpire. So ball up, deep in attack now for Clarence. Great transference of the ball there. Lee, superb tap out to Simpson, who clears from half back.
Centre square, good mark. Chest mark, Sam Green. So Green stabs the ball in. Good lead. Free kick. Yes, it is going to be a free kick to Clarence Keegan Ryan. Chopping of the arms, bit of body. So Keegan Ryan will take the free kick. Man on the mark will be on the centre square. So Ryan, Keegan Ryan, he gives it off. Good hit up, good lead. Gave it off to Keegan Wiley. And Keegan Wiley hit up, finds the small forward there.
Jared Harper.
Jared Harper sneaking forward from the midfield. Resting forward, so Jared Harper takes the mark.
That's that designated role of Keegan Wiley there.
It was good. Good, nice kick. And that's either side haven't been able to find that leader, that mark on the lead today. So let's see what Jared Harper can do. They haven't kicked one since Bryce Alomes kicked their second in the first quarter. Harper looks pretty good, it is. So Jared Harper gets the first goal of the second half, and Clarence, they go along to 3-4-22, and they skip away by a couple of goals. North Launceston 1-2-8.
Just a little bit of patience required there wasn't it? It was a lead up. You can nearly copy what was going to happen there to Keegan Wiley, who was hovering around the mark there. So North have got to be more aware of that. He is one of their better kicks, and that just proved how good a kick he is. Jared Harper used his body really well there. I think it was on Lockie Young, maybe. Connor Young. But, just smart footy by the Roos. They knew that the numbers were back there, so they had to take their time. Didn't rush it, and got a much-needed goal to get them on the board for this third quarter.
14 points the margin. First goal of the second half to the Roos. In the ruck contest, Lee hits it straight to Paprotny, who stands up in the tackle. Will reset once again. Green athletically wins the tap, but straight to Avent, who kicks it inside 50. Leary's there. He needs to lift in this second half. He's got it now. Handball sideways. Blade Sulzberger on the left. Launches towards goal. Baker Smith and Ahern, and Baker Smith again takes a contested mark in the last line of defence. And what an acquisition he's been to this Clarence team late in the season.
North Launceston forwards need to spread, Max. They're all going to the one spot, and Leary just got no room. We'll get back to that. Cox Goodyer virtually unsighted in the second quarter. It's going to be a free kick to North Launceston. So here they need to spread and give Leary space. If he's the go-to man, give him space. Don't all lead to the hot spot. Leary will go. But you see that? Leary went, and then Hubbard went with him. So it's two on two. You want to give him. Here is Leary. Over the back, good punch from behind by Keegan Ryan. Comes down the front. Up and under kick. Inside, Sam Green dives. Doesn't get to it. Leary's there, he's looking dangerous, but he just can't get any space. North Launceston will tackle, they'll try and keep it in, and they do.
You see what I mean? You talk about giving him a bit of space, though. It's not going to help with that entry that they did there either, like 40 metres up in the air, just waiting for it to land on somebody's head.
I just don't think the forwards are working together, though. No. They're all going to each other's space rather than actually running some patterns that will give someone some space. Speaking of space, he's Bradley Cox Goodyer from the pocket. Oh! They reckon it's close, but the umpire disagrees. Well, that would have lifted the Max.
It would have. And we've got Hubbard down there deep in the forward. We know that he's a backman, and he's just going down to cover that loose man. So he's probably a little bit lost as to where he should go. But that loose man's filling that hole that Leary and others need to run into.
Keegan Wiley kicks it 60 metres out of defence to the centre wing. Taken by Avent. He scoops it out towards Sulzberger. He tries to flip it to Bennett. Garland there, finding it hard to bend down. He's got it now. He kicks towards half forward. Leaflang should get there first. He meets the contest hard. Little handball over the top to Bennett. Tries to get it back to Leaflang. Keegan Ryan's there. Manshana did well. Little kick out there by Sam Simpson. It's on the wing. Ahern meets it. He's tackled by Baker Smith and Jack Preshaw.
But why don't they just even it up then? Why don't they just even it up? You know, like at the moment, as you mentioned, Keegan Wiley's just doing as he pleases.
Hubbard's coming back to him now.
But there's still an extra. There's still an extra one. Still a +1.
Griffiths is coming back now.
Well, at least they're forward of the footy.
Jack Preshaw gets it to Ollie Preshaw. The cousins combine. Inside out, kick to half forward. Noah Holmes is there. That's almost a mark to Young. It's going to be paid. Just had enough purchase on it. Switches now to Nicholas. Getting there, though, is William Bush. Got the recovery. Picks it up. Balls boom. Backwards now to that man, Keegan Wiley, who's going to spot up Allones, who can't take the mark. He's got the recovery. Can he take possession? Might have been held. Play on, says the umpire. Bennett gets it to Bales. Over to Nicholas.
Nicholas got space in front if it sits. That's all it needs to do, and it does. He'll try and put the foot down. He tried to get the foot to it, but he couldn't. Griffiths by hand. Baxter Norton puts the pressure on him, and it goes out of bounds. I reckon he took him on. The Clarence players agree, but the umpire didn't. Yeah, Griffiths is one that needs to work on his defensive side because Keegan Wiley is their designated kicker, as Fozzie's mentioned, from behind. And he goes down to man him up inside forward 50, but then he's got to get him going up the ground. I'd still like to see Brandon Leary as your deepest forward from the square. I reckon he could cause a couple of headaches. At the moment, it's Ahern. Boundary throw in. Here's Cox Goodger. Been better this quarter early. Coming up with the footy will be Mansell, one of their best in the first half. Good pressure. And the ball goes out of bounds. No, it doesn't. Stays in.
Good tackle.
Cox Goodger on the 50-metre line where it meets the boundary.
Oscar Paprotny.
Over in the sun here at UTAS Stadium.
That was just persistence then, just willing that ball forward for about 30 metres, kept it in. Really good play by North. They could have just allowed a boundary throw, but just wanted to keep working it forward.
Lee, palm down, in front. Avant, Cox Goodger, no, Pearce. Gives it to Nicholas. Inside 50, can't find the space here. Mansell tried to get rid of his opponent and did. He'll come back at it now, Oscar Mansell. The umpire's paid a dumping free kick.
Against Liam Howard.
And it's going to be a free kick to Jack Avant. Well, Mansell got rid of his opponent. Was going to have a snap for goal, but Avant's going to get the free kick. Half-time Sandringham Dragons, 55, lead the Geelong Falcons 45. Riley Sanders watched 13 disposals at half-time, 11 handballs. The boy from North Launceston looking for back-to-back flags with the Sandringham Dragons. But here, North Launceston need this one. Jackie Avant from the pocket. He'll have a look. He'll have a good look. Misses near side. Another behind. 1-4-10. Trail by 2 straight goals, 3-4-22.
Inside 50s, Bombers 5, Clarence 4 this quarter. Clearances 7 to North Launceston, 2 to Clarence. So they're starting to get on top around the ball, but they're just not hitting the scoreboard. Now here's Lee, short kick. Mansell takes it. Oscar Mansell, as the boys said at half time, he's been the best forward option for the Bombers. A fine season. And Noah Holmes on the mark, the big fella's 40 metres out, slight angle to the left. So they need this one. Inside 50s in the game so far. They've had 28 inside 50s for 1 goal. They trail by 2 goals. This would bring it back to 1 straight kick. In the sunshine here at UTAS Stadium. Oscar Mansell for goal. It's off to the left, 1 behind. The umpire didn't move very much. I thought it was going to be a goal, but it's 1 behind. 1-5-11 to 3-4-22. That's 3 behinds this quarter to 1 goal straight for Clarence as Jack Preshaw takes the mark.
Preshaw, wheel and go on the left. They've got a set here. Oh, reading the ball much better for Clarence was Baker Smith. Finds himself in front of the ball. Lots of marks today. Started the game really well. Controlled things. He can go back. Decides to go down the line. Noah will set. Over the top is Lee Flang. Down the front for North Launceston is Sam Simpson. To Bennett. Back to Bales. He's got no one to go to on the left. So he comes back to Lee. Max shakes his head. Get back to you in the moment because it's going to be turned over by Jared Harper. Harper to Holmes. Set. Good. Against the pressure of Bennett, it's always a good mark. Noah Holmes. Inside 50, deep, Invermain Park side of the ground. It's a good defensive punch from Declan Chugg. Max, shake your head.
Oh, that was just terrible there by Harry Bales. Running, I could see what he was trying to do, draw a player, but the only support he had was Alex Lee standing there. Why not kick it 40 metres out to the space? It doesn't have to go out of bounds. Just back yourself in with a bit of pace.
One thing, we'll talk about that after this boundary throwing, because Garland, he'll get it down. Avent looking for the boundary line. He's going to come out in front of Harper. Good quarter for him, including a goal. Good tackle on Colby Whitelaw. One thing I'm used to North Launceston having, though, is that outlet winger. And Bales didn't have it. He didn't have the outlet winger run, the half forward pushing up. That's what we know North Launceston here at UTAS Stadium to be able to do. Today they haven't been able to do it, or they're choosing not to do it. Free kick in the ruck against Lee. Been a few of them today. Noah Holmes has been good as the second ruck option. Holmes, Garland, one. Can't get it. It's going to be a free kick. Held on to.
Yep.
That's why he couldn't get the second one, because he was being held, Colin Garland, and he's going to have a free kick from in front of the northern stand here at UTAS Stadium on a really fine day. He'll look to run around. North Launceston set for the umpire to say go. Oh, he comes inboard. That's tricky, and finds Tom Murrell. So Murrell is about 20 metres further out.
Yes.
He's going to have to kick from 50. Fossil not happy. I'd like to have seen Garland snap that
Here
one,
it
I
is.
think. Here it is. The kicker. It goes to Wiley, but he can't get it. He can. He has a look. Keegan Wiley deep to the square. Kick off the ground. I think it's a goal.
Oscar
Paprotny snapped it from the goal line. Horrible defence from North Launceston. If it's true, they couldn't get it across. Paprotny kicks it. They've lined up. Connie Young wants to kick it out.
Discussion going on.
They've got two centrals, the boundary and the goal umpire. It'll come down to the goal umpire's call. Boundary umpire's having a lot to say.
Might not be convinced.
This is crucial. I think he's going to give it a goal. Is he? I think he is. He is! He looked, he had the two arms ready to go. They were flexed, and he went bang. That's a goal to Oscar Paprotny, and a nightmare for North Launceston now, Max Walker.
It certainly is. Macca, and just through the glasses, Connie Young is very, very complexed about that decision. So he was certain that it was over.
Well, punch it into the fifth row then, Connie Young.
They were just tapping it up and down in the air.
Goodness.
Rule number one, when you're in defence, when it's a metre out, you've got to kill the ball. But I don't think they were trying to keep it in play. They just didn't show any aggression.
But they go back to Keegan Wiley again, Foz. You called it. It's like a set play, like a gridiron play. It's like a quarterback.
He almost got himself into trouble, Keegan Wiley, but he danced around a bit and got free.
But is it Harvey Griffiths again? I don't know who was on him, but you've just got to be smarter than that in the half-back line.
He's doing what we've been accustomed to seeing Cox Goodyear do.
Goal to Oscar Paprotny, crucial one. Margin now out to 17 points. Howlett there, might have been caught without it. Be a secondary ball up. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas. For your LPG needs statewide, talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. You listen to City Park Radio. 103.7, 96.5 as Nathan Geeson throws it up. Lee wins the tap to space. Coming out to meeting is Harry Fisher. He's met himself by his North Launceston opponent in Pearce. So 17 points. It still doesn't sound much, but when you've had only had a 5-goal game and we're well into the third quarter, it's a significant lead. They definitely need the next one, the Bombers. Lee, lovely tap out to Pearce. He falls over. He got high contact. So
as you fall over, I think you give your high contact away, don't you?
Nathan Pearce kicks towards the half-forward line over the head of Leary. There might be a free kick here. High contact. It's going to go to Leary.
Against the good defender in Beerley.
Yep. So we know that Leary can kick a long ball. Imagining here, if the digits on 50 were there, there's a space where they should be. That's where he's kicking from. Right behind it here in the commentary position and on the stream. You'll see a good view of this one. Goes through his routine, Brandon Leary. Skips in. Sets it out left. It won't make the distance. Contested situation. Ahern got his hands to it, but it spills out of bounds. Bounty thrown right next to the left behind post.
Do you reckon the Kingborough Tigers coach in Trent Bilmer, and hello, no doubt you're listening and watching and all those things, do you reckon he'd be worried at the moment?
Well, he'd be liking the physicality of the game.
I think so.
Yeah. that's for sure. On this big ground at UTAS Stadium. From the boundary throw-in, Lee flips it over the back, taken by Beerley. He's met in the tackle, thrown to ground.
Oh, it's a free
Sling
kick.
tackle against Ipes.
Of course, something different next week. North Hobart Oval, tighter.
Absolutely.
A lot more inside 50s, most probably. It's going to be exciting. Who's going to take on the Tigers?
Kieran Howlett gets round. He gets it to Whitelaw, who takes the mark at half-back.
Whitelaw, been good on Man Shandon, I reckon. He's one that can get off the chain if given time and space. Speaking of space, big Colin Garland finds the ball on the outer wing. Looks a lot fresher today too, just quietly Colin Garland. It's not a fresh kick because it goes out of bounds in front of the scoreboard. Yes, Dave?
I'll get you in a minute, Macca. The play's back underway.
Righto. Connor Young, twist turns, gives it to Fletcher Bennett. Bennett will go back to Young. Where's he going to go? He goes out wide. Lee. Green. Out of bounds. Yes, Dave?
I neglected to give the score today in the D-League earlier. And it was North Launceston. They had a good win over Lauderdale. So next week it's going to be North Launceston versus North Hobart in the D-League Grand Final.
Have you got those NTFA things there for us?
No, we might get to those. Cross has got them. But Cross, we get to you very quickly. What do you got there?
Yeah, Foz, so we got Jay Blackberry has actually taken out the NTFA Premier Division best and fairest from his teammate Cody Lowe. So well done to Jay.
Congratulations,
wow,
Jay.
Some big votes there for South Launceston. Missed a few games, didn't he, Jay, early on?
He did miss a few. Yeah.
But he's a vote getter. And Cody Lowe, of course, the ruckman. Battles hard for South Launceston. So big day for the Bulldogs. Of course, missed out on the grand final after getting beaten by Rochalee last week. Injuries, and that really cost them in the end, I think, the Bulldogs. They were the ones that probably should have beaten Hillwood a couple of weeks ago, Max. They were 25 up, lost by 27. Just ran out of puff, ran out of rotation. Not much happening here, Foz.
Yeah,
you stay steady. You just settle down a bit. I know you're keen, but there's nothing happening. That's why we have a chat. Me and Max and I, who won't be here next week. Max Walker. He's got some festivities to attend to. They're trying to get it forward here through Man Shandon. Inside 50, Leary looks to take it on the chest. Really well done by Beerley. They get it out now, Clarence and Harry Fisher. He's been stolen, though. It's a good kick. It's a good goal. Excellent goal for Josh Rickard. Well, he pickpocketed the Clarence defenders who were just looking to stroll it out of half-back. And that might be the lifter. Rickard. He hit the ball at pace and he finished off, did the youngster. And Max Walker, that one come out of nowhere.
It did come out of nowhere, and in fairness to the Clarence back six, it's probably the first genuine mistake that they've made today, and there was just no urgency with Fisher's handball there. It was just a little, a give me handball. I've tried to do it over the top, but Rickard read it really, really well, and just accelerated and finished with a great goal.
So North Launceston 2-5-17. They sneak a little bit closer. Clarence 4-4-28. Here's the king of the radio in the north, Dave Moore.
He's a good finisher, Josh Rickard. He's worked his way back in the senior side. He's spent a bit of time in the D-League this year, but calm finish on that occasion and a big final. Here we go now with Simpson. Fresh air kick. It's shovelled out. Back now to Simpson. Over now to Chug. Chug short kick now to Sulzberger. He takes the mark. Tension there from Harper. North fans 150. Now he's got Sam Simpson as an outlet there. He doesn't go there. Mack has spotted something further on as Sulzberger now here towards Ahern. Against the boundary line, Jack Ahern nearly takes it. Leary, inside out, kick towards goal. Will it go towards goal? Will it bounce? No. To the left. A bit of magic from Brandon Leary. Max was out of his seat. He loves watching his mercurial feats on the footy field. And he couldn't quite get the bend on that one. 2-6-18, 4-4-28. Baker Smith out from fullback. They fly. From the back it was Ollie Preshaw. He takes Declan Chugg in a tackle. A little bit of afters there, Ollie Preshaw and Chugg. Up they get. It's right in front of us, 60 metres out from the North Launceston goal. It's one goal apiece in this quarter. So we're going to come down the last quarter. Strap yourselves in, stay with us here. Listening on City Park Radio. If you have to go anywhere and you're watching it, we are available online. City Park Radio online or on the Community Radio Plus app. Here we go now, Sulzberger. Good body work there by Harper, though. Sees it out of bounds.
North Launceston have just listed their intensity in the last 4 or 5 minutes. guys, and we saw this a couple of weeks ago when the word got out that Kingra had been beaten as well. They went up 2 or 3 steps, and
That's right.
today they've probably got to go up 3 or 4 steps because they don't get the chance to rehearse anything today. It's all or nothing.
We know that a big pre-season. They're very fit, North Launceston. Pearce caught in the tackle. Ball, says the crowd. Great tackle there. That's Oscar Paprotny. I stand corrected. It is Oscar. He'll kick that goal in the quarter from right on the line. Here he goes. Plays it safe. Kicks it towards the boundary line. Cox Goodger goes one-handed. Garland over the top. Now here's Ollie Preshaw. Goes in. Might have got high contact. Gets ridden into the ground. Now the handball from Ives. Releases Bales. Here's the call from Bennett. Bennett goes back into traffic. Long handball out to Sulzberger. Has support from Oscar Mansell. He goes in now with a pass to Leary, but it clears him. Bealey over the back takes it. Nice little handball now to Harry Fisher.
Harry Fisher goes out wide. Borsboom was good early. He's had a good battle with Mitchy Nicholas on that wing. Nicholas wins this one, but he's well tackled by Borsboom. Does a 360. Harry Bales follows up. It's close to the line. It's scrappy. It's not great footy, but it's contested preliminary final footy with no next week for the loser and all to play for the winner. And it's going to be a throw up just in from the boundary.
Next goal either way is going to be a very, very handy goal for either side at the moment, just in the balance of going, north or south at the moment.
Lee and Green goes set North Launceston's way. Pearce is there, Avan is there, and out of bounds again. So what have we ticked? 24.5 minutes. 2-6-18. North Launceston 4-4-28. As the scoreboard is emblazoned in sun. So boundary throw in, 55 metres from the North Launceston's goal. Lee, palm down, left palm. Well done there by the Clarence midfielder in Preshaw. Jack Preshaw finds it. Now it goes forward. It's going to be a free kick. Is it Keegan Ryan or against him? It's going to be against Keegan Ryan. I just think North Launceston have got to do something about the Leary stuff. They're just trying to hit him every time. There's no room for him. So they'll either give that away and let him crumb. They've moved Leaflang forward, which is interesting as a taller target. Don't mind it. He can take a grab. Cox Goodger. He'll look to bomb it in. Leaflang leads and leads well. Still ignoring him. He's still on. He's led from the square as Connor Leaflang. He's got a lease of life, the big defender. Oh, now he does some candy. Left foot. Neat. Not neat enough because it's out of bounds, Connor. Just pump it in, son. Yeah, the Leary thing, if they target him and it's not working, then they've got to go something different, and maybe that is Leaflang. Yes, Dave Moore. 11
inside 50s to North Launceston, 6 to Clarence. I think they've probably had the last 4 or 5 groups.
Yes.
He's nodding. Is from defence now, Sam Green. Beautiful kick, 50 metres up the line. Bounces over the back. Now there's a push in the back there. It's going the way of Bryce Allomes. He's drifted up. Players rush forward now to provide options. Umpire says play on. Allomes goes along here looking for Borsboom. Almost takes the mark. Has the recovery. Does Borsboom. Kicks it to the square in the Garland direction. In a wrestle there with Ives. And Garland just kicks it out of bounds on the full. And there's the switch, Macca. Ives and Leaflang swap places.
Yeah, well, they need someone to be able to take a mark. Ives hasn't been able to do it. And Leaflang could be just a point of difference.
Theo Ives in the unfamiliar territory deep in defence. Goes a long kick. Up the wing. Off hands. Comes back towards Paprotny. Gets tackled by his fellow number 18 in Mansell.
Over 1,200 viewers on the stream at the moment, so thank you to all those viewers. Tell your friends to tell them to log on. It's a great game here. Mightn't be a great spectacle, but it's close and it's tight, and it's going to come down to the wire in the last quarter, which we're nearing. Great camera work. Best in the business, Ben Donaldson. Did 4 games yesterday, did Ben Donaldson. That would have been good cash.
He told me that was his record.
That would have been good cash, Max.
That was a record, he told me. He's never done 4 in a day before.
Went to one of the finest restaurants last night, I reckon. Spent all the cash he earned. Best in the business. Benny Donaldson. Ball's going nowhere, hence why I'm just patting it out here with some Benny Donaldson love. And there it is, thankfully, because it wasn't going anywhere. It's 3/4 time, and the intrigue continues. These 2 powerhouse clubs of the TSL eras Clarence, 4-4-28. They lead North Launceston 2-6-18. So North Launceston kicked 1 goal 4 and Clarence kicked 2 goals.
2 goals straight, yep.
2 goals straight. So it is intriguing. Goal kickers, all singles. Harper, Paprotny in that quarter, Garland and Alomes for Clarence, and for North Launceston, Rickard and Ahern.
Okay, we felt, especially the second half of that quarter, Max, that North Launceston worked their way back in the game. But those 2 goals from Clarence really have given them a little bit of an arm's length advantage here in this last quarter.
Yeah, they have, Dave. And just sitting here watching, you're just waiting for a forward. Mac has spoken about Leary a couple of times, but there's got to be someone out there from either team that can just set this game alight in the last quarter, pop up and kick a couple of goals, whether it be a Leary or, Colin Garland started off really well with that goal that he got in that first quarter. Hasn't had a lot of it since, so he's been well held by Fletcher Bennett. But crikey, I can't actually call at the moment as to which way this game will go, because it's just the first half, we spoke about it at half time, it belonged to Clarence, but without having the exercise, the gap on the scoreboard, whereas that quarter was sort of a nothing quarter. You called there, Macca, towards the end. It was just going backwards and forwards. And
on that railway wing.
Yeah, it was as if all the zap had gone out of the game. But yeah, look, I think as much as I'd love to see a Northern side in the grand final again, at the moment, I just think Clarence look a bit more composed. They've probably got a bit more confidence at the moment, the way they are. You look at the North Launceston guys, you sit back and watch. A few of them just look a little bit flat as well.
Yep.
I know I bang on about it, but Leary's the match winner. Leary's got to start in the square. They've got to get everyone high up the ground, push. And if Clarence want to get back and put blokes back, then lower your eyes and hit the bloke that's free. Leafling's gone forward now. Interesting. Probably hasn't played there all year, to be fact. And I still think there's still something to be done there, or a Cox Goodyear or someone like that.
What they could do is, I was watching Jack Ahern, so Baker Smith was playing him really tight in the last 10 minutes or so. If I'd be Cox Goodyear, I'd be saying, we've got to get Baker Smith away from the goals. Just keep walking around, which Ahern was doing, and it made Baker Smith follow him with it. So if they got the opportunity to get the ball in quickly, Baker Smith's got to make a decision. Do I go back and create that, +1? Or am I going to leave Ahern up here and use him as a target if I do go? So
every time today I've seen North Launceston kick in, there's been 4, 5, normally +1 Clarence defenders in that sort of diamond formation around where the ball's going. And they just come off their man and they hit the ball. So it's real team defence. And North Launceston, they just started to run a little bit more that corner. There was a couple of little mistakes where they could have run a little bit more. They've still got some young players out there, though, don't they, North Launceston?
That could be the difference. There's a bit of experience.
I still think so, yeah.
In this Clarence team. We better get to a break just quickly. Dave Gruber's stats, hit-outs to three-quarter time. North Launceston 40-21. So Alex Lee had a great quarter, 16-8 there. Clearance is pretty even over the day, 25-18 North Launceston way. But in that quarter, North Launceston got on top around the contest. Simpson was fantastic. Avent was fantastic, 11-4. Inside 50s, 33 to the Bombers, 25 to Clarence, 11-7 in that quarter. Marks inside 50, only 3 for that quarter, 1 to North Launceston, 2 to Clarence. Free kicks, the Roos 26, the Bombers 22, and intercept marks, Clarence still on top there, 12-8. We'll take a short break here on City Park Radio. When we come back, we'll have Alec Croswell's report from the boundary and set the scene for the exciting last quarter.
Play your cards right with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Community Care Tasmania is your local, not-for-profit home care service provider in Tasmania. We deliver a full range of home care services with care and empathy. Our friendly, professional and innovative staff will tailor care to your needs. Ring 6334 0990 or 1300 722 400 and speak to a local. Also, you can visit cct.org.au to find out more. At Community Care Tasmania, we put your care first. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
What if I told you there's a job out there where you can really make a difference? where you can inspire others and be inspired, where your workmates make you laugh constantly. Not only that, but you could work from home, set your own days and hours, and find financial freedom. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. If you love working with children, join our Thrive Group family and become one of our family daycare educators. Give us a call on 6341 1555 or visit thrivegroup.org.au. Thrive Group, proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Straight down Alec Croswell.
Yeah, thanks, Foz. Coach Cox Goodyear from North Launceston, he really put it on his players. He said 1 quarter to go, grand final on the line, desperate. He really wants them to stop going down the line long, change the shape when attacking, and try and get some good entries inside forward 50.
Thanks, Alex, for that report there at three-quarter time. So we're about to get underway here.
And I notice Cox Goodyear is probably going to play as an extra midfielder at the moment. He's lining up on the wing, so I suspect that he just wants to, put a bit of a stamp on the game as well. Get some good clearances and some use out of the ball that Alex Lee's been winning.
Last quarter action, City Park Radio Sport. Here's Matthew McGee.
So the final quarter for one of these teams, it is the final quarter for season 2023. Noah Holmes start in the ruck. Avent gets it out and he'll go long. And he'll go deep inside 50. Leary there, the target again. Mansell will put pressure on. He'll put pressure on Liam Howard, who sees it out of bounds in front of the scoreboard. Yes, Maxwell.
And it looks like they've moved Connie Young onto Baker Smith as well.
Okay, so they've moved him forward. So they've gone basically, they're 2 defenders in Young and also Connor Leaflang. They've gone forward with both of them. So sometimes you rob Peter to pay Paul. Let's see whether their backline can hold up down back. Here's Cox Goodyear. He spins. He gives it over the top. Avent hits the spot, but that's a great mark.
Baker.
It's another fantastic mark, Baker Smith. Well, he's what they've needed in the back half of this year, Baker Smith. Coming back from the VFL, back to his old club. Umpire calls play on. It's an up and under kick. Just gets outside 50. Blade Sulzberger tries to get it out, can't do so. Beerley gets it over the top and through to Max Gapin. He scrubs it about 3 metres forward and another ball up. So just repeating for our northern listeners especially, Jay Blackberry, after not playing in the first 7 rounds, has stormed home to win the NTFA Division 1 medal over his Premier League medal over his teammate in Cody Lowe. Isaac Thompson from Hillwood was 3rd. Siding count, inside 50 now from the free kick. Here's Bradley Cox Goodyear.
Well, we've seen this script before.
He wants to take, he's going to do the umpiring himself. He wants to, and he plays on. That is scripted, and now he slipped over. He couldn't kick it. Off the ground, Mansell. Can't get it either, through for behind. He shouldn't be able to do that, Bradley Cox Goodyear, should he really?
It's play on. You walk up to the mark and you go over it, it's play on.
Well, they do call play on, but the thing is he uses the umpire as a bit of a shield. Yeah, they should just say, no, you go back and we'll do our job. But he does it. Like he just does that as a script.
Keegan Wiley kicks it out of defence to Colin Garland, who kicks straight away. Won't go 15. Ives takes it, no mark though, has to play on. Kicks inside 50. Here's Leary. And a great mark there, Ollie Preshaw. He's an aerialist and took a fantastic mark in defence there. Another intercept mark. Now he goes wide to Green. Green has to wait for options. He's got a 45 kick now towards Holmes. It overcooks though. Going to fall to the back. Cox Goodyear shrugs the tackle in his 241st game and spots up Leary. Leary plays on, 45 metres out, sets sail. It misses everything.
It was a downfield free kick anyway. They got rid of Cox Goodyear afterwards. But it's play on advantage now.
So from the back line, who's been huge today, Keegan Wiley. Take the bounce. Kicks it up the wing. Holmes is there with Lee. Almost a one-header mark to Holmes. Falls to Chug. He was laid upon by Big Noah.
Geez, Noah Holmes has been one of the most, I reckon, important players today. He's hit up the leads here on this wing and plays that second ruck role. Been really important.
He's in the ruck contest this time with Lee. Lee wins it towards Cox Goodger. He's got Ollie Preisha on his hammer. Tapped forward by Sulzberger. Getting free now is Beerley. Fumble by Norton. He's tackled by Avent. Somehow gets it out. Manchandon, Cox Goodger, Leary on the boundary line, sums up his options. Spearing pass here towards Nicholas. Now he's in a foot race with Borsboom. Nicholas goes on his left as you'd expect, and it's a worm burner to Mansell. Fumble. Now it's contested. Now to be a ball up 20 metres out from from North Launceston's goal.
I reckon there's been about 4 or 5 occasions today where North Launceston have just tried to spear the ball in that hard that it hasn't gone off the ground. It's a dribble kick. They've had the time. Just
Lee,
chip it up.
Down to Cox Goodger, right at his feet. He's had a few touches earlier as Cox Goodger. This is going to be holding the footy.
Yep.
He sat on the ball after he fumbled it, and the Clarence defender sat on him.
Liam Howard. No, Norton,
Baxter
sorry.
Norton. Let me do my job, Fozzle, please.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm usually right.
No, I haven't listened to it. The king of Northern radio. I'm usually right. Garland, he got the kick out. It now comes inside 50. Maybe one could be enough for Clarence. Here's Bryce Alomes, virtually unsighted in the second half. Just outside 50, and the umpire says, give it to me. The North players say, that's no different to the other end umpire. Thing is, it's a different umpire. Simpson, he's going to try and get to this stoppage. They've kept a tight rope on him today. Sulzberger, he's held in the tackle. It's going to be another ball up. Sandringham has skipped away. 17-point lead over there in the Coates League. Riley Sanders watch, 16 disposals, 1 goal, 13 handballs. Ball up, inside 50, Green. Goes up. Kick out there from North Launceston to Hubbard. Manchandon, he's got to be clean, and he's not. He's now set upon. Clarence supporters say, ball. No one agrees. It's getting tight, isn't it? Preliminary final action. 2-7-19, North Launceston. Clarence 4-4-28. They've been on that for a little while. Both teams, to be honest, round about that 4-2. Nothing's really happened. Here's Simpson. Hit up. Here's Noah Holmes behind the footy now. Noah, he'll pump it in. They'll fly. Alomes at the back. They need a crumb, and there's not one there. And it comes out of bounds in front of Tom Murrell and Declan Chugg. It's going to be a bit like, for North Launceston, it's going to be a bit like Carlton the other night. Someone's going to have to take that risky kick, that 45 kick, to get the clear space to get them a goal. Clarence are going to be happy to go down the line stoppage. And if they can manufacture one, it could be enough.
Bounty throw in Lee, tries to flip it over. Now to Simpson, who runs in a wall of Clarence Guernseys. And there'll be another ball up.
Yes, Max?
Well, just what we're finding, or what I'm noticing at the moment, the second Clarence ruckman, which at the moment is Noah Holmes, he's playing the loose man behind the ball.
Yep.
So North have just got to drop one of their on-ballers back to make them accountable.
Here's Avent tracking towards the boundary, tackled by Jack Preshaw. Their tackling and pressure today's been immense.
Would you say at the moment the Clarence coaching box are winning the battle?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Playing right. North, to clear it, they've got to kick it to where Noah Holmes is.
Which happened a minute ago.
Lee, great tap out now to Bennett. Bennett kicks to the centre of the ground. Contested footy, important one here. Connor Young takes it nicely, but then he's tackled by Paprotny. Out here towards Harry Fisher. He's tackled, lovely tackle there by Oscar Mansell. Liam Howard flips it over the top to Borsboom. He's got Baxter Norton, who might hold it here and just settle things down a bit. Team of the Year player Baxter Norton. His brother Angus also made the team. Congratulations to the Norton family. Short kick, chisels one here to Colin Garland on the boundary. The experienced Colin Garland, former Melbourne player, kicks inside 50. Flyers wanted off the hands of Ives. Bennett back to Mitchell, who was happy just to see it over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. About 40 metres around from Clarence's goal. They lead 4-4-28 to North Launceston 2-7-19. And the sun is on that scoreboard, but I think we played about 8 minutes.
That's it, 8 minutes. Or as Groobs would say, 15 minutes 31, but that's actually the time. Just ticked over 3:30. Groobs gets a bit confused at times. Doesn't get confused on the stat sheet, though. There's another inside 50 to Borsboom. Down in front there of the fort of Keegan Ryan. Cox Goodger working really hard. He's going to get the free kick.
He's moved on ball.
Yeah, he's working hard this quarter. had a quiet third, maybe saving some petrol tickets. The player's gone down the middle of the field there. That is Simpson. And the Clarence... the umpire's seen that. It's going to be a free kick against the Clarence
silly from
player.
Jack Preshaw.
Jack Preshaw, is it? They were being silly off ball. It's going to be 50 from there. And Cox Goodger's going to take it. So I saw that. Simpson went down.
Just watch Cox Goodger. He'll go in a minute. He'll go.
He'll go. He won't be able to go because Sam Green, if he stays, he doesn't. Sam Green needs to stay on his left side. Cox Goodger goes short. Leary, chest mark, can't take it. Well done again, Clarence, through Colby Whitelaw. Turnover, Harry Bales. So Bales, he's got to go. He's got Connor Leaflang short. He's got Young short. And he goes Young's way. So Young on the 50. Clarence players get out of the protected zone. Young, Connor Young, important. Is it going to go? It does. It drifts. And it's another behind. So 2-8-20. Trail Clarence 4-4-28, 8 points. Clarence 9.5 minutes gone. You're listening to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5. Over 1,500 people on the View, Foz, and they're going to listen to you, the King.
Keegan Wiley, long kick, but a big thump out of bounds by Connor Young, who nearly fashioned a long goal there a moment ago. So he's a bit of a swingman, Connor Young. He's played a lot of his career with North Launceston down back. We've seen him this year move forward, and that's where he is at the moment, manned up by Liam Howard. So boundary throw in. We're on the attacking side of the wing, on the main grandstand side of UTAS Stadium. From the back, Lee wins a tap to Bennett. Tackled from behind by Bush. And we get a free kick. Coming back to Bennett. He's got a runner on in Declan Chugg. He can run to 50, Chugg. He goes the short option, and he doesn't find a teammate. He finds Keegan Wiley, who's taken an intercept mark.
Just not backing themselves, the young Bombers today.
So Keegan Wiley has been one of the best on the ground, in my opinion. Gets round, kicks along to the wing. Oh, nearly a big fly and a mark to Garland. He dropped it though. That would have been one for the highlights reel. Baker Smith now. He's up in the wing. Little inside out kick. Can't find a teammate. Hubbard meets the ball, taps it to himself. Kicks it to the wing, just inside the line. Griffiths. Oh, he's fumbled, but he gets it back again. Has support from Leaflang, will be under pressure. Well done, Norton, with the body work. And it's out of bounds. I'll take a breath, but what passage of play that was. And Colin Garland winding back the clock, Macca, nearly took mark of the year.
You'll be the most disappointed man in the stadium, Foster. We know how much you love the news highlights.
He did have the Warwick Kappa hands. The Warwick Kappa hands on the shoulders. But
Kappas.
Yeah, back in the day, over Chris Langford, I think it was. Rubes is nodding.
Alex Lee and Noah Holmes, they do battle. Bottom of the pack here, Clarence Jack Preshaw. He gets it going forward. It could just be a goal that's needed from either side here to really open this game up. 8 points to lead Clarence. Here's Declan Chugg doing all he can do. Let's see if the inside 50 is a little bit better. Leary 2-on-1 over the top. Can't take the mark. Bottom of the pack, Nicholas. He's beset upon. They get it out to Clarence. This time it goes through to William Bush.
Good tackle, Bush.
Good tackle, Bush.
Been very reliable today, Bush, hasn't he? Hasn't been beaten one-on-one too many times.
Jeez, I tell you what, it's tight. Sam Simpson was there. That's who the tackle was on. So in between the arc and the top of the square, Holmes. Cox Goodger's on the move through the stoppages we've seen him do for those record number of games. He's trying to lift. Just no space for him to get the kick. And it's going to be another ball up on the 50.
What's going on down there, Cros? The North runners being spoken to by the emergency umpire.
Hello, keep an eye on that, Alex Croswell. Here's Blade Sulzberger. He's at the top of the 50. Declan Chugg goes through. He ducked the head. The umpires fell for it. He bent that shoulder down. Joel Selwood style. And now Declan Chugg wants to play on. The umpire said you can't because the Clarence defender's on the ground.
Keegan Ryan it is.
Keegan Ryan. So Declan Chugg, it's a tight forward 50. Maybe the long bomb is the way to go. He goes short. Connor Young out mark. Great mark in defence, Liam Howard. So Liam Howard saves the day. Just another inside 50 for Dave Gruber. Get me those numbers, please.
Yes,
Fuzzle.
11-4, the Bombers' way.
Geez, North can't do much more apart from hit a target. And they go long down the line to Clarence. Another one for them would be nearly a nail in the coffin. But they're going a bit defensive at the moment. Hubbard goes inside 50. It's another terrible kick. Clarence are there in their defence. They're going to throw it around. Where's this one going to land? It lands in the arms of Declan Chugg. He's had plenty of it. He plays on from 50. Declan Chugg. Is it? There it is! There it is! Well, he's had a few goes as the youngster in Declan Chugg, and he finally gets one to go through the big sticks. And that kick out was just a little bit panicky from Clarence, and it landed in the arms of the defensive player in Declan Chugg as he wanders back to the back line. And now it's game on, Max Walker.
It certainly is, and I reckon Chugg had probably 4 or 5 possessions then in 2 or 3 minutes. And he's reading it so well. And there he tried to milk a 50 to start with. He thought the Clarence bloke had, come forward over the mark, so he's pointing it out. And whilst he did that, it looks like he's gone off his line as well. So the umpire's called play on, and he's just done the big 40, 50 metre kick.
So Clarence, they only lead by 2 now. I just feel that they're going a bit wide, Clarence. They're going a bit defensive. They still need to score. You're going to listen to the captain of the commentary team, Dave Moore.
Oh, what a game we've got now here. 14 and a half minutes gone. We're probably only going to go 23 or 24. 10 minutes left. Stay with us. As we're back in the middle of the ground here at UTAS Stadium. It's another contested possession. Cross, how are things down there?
Yeah, very tense down here, Foz. The runners of both teams have been warned a few times where they're standing during the game. They need to allow room for the boundary umpire to run past, I believe.
Cox Goodyear just having a spell. He won't be off for long, you'd imagine. And so we're going to get another secondary ball up. Slightly in attack here for Clarence. Just the 1 goal this quarter to the Bombers. Remember, we'll have extra time if scores are tied at the end. As Jack Preshaw gets at Norton, who got high contact.
Max wants a new contract if it goes to extra time, he said. If he's going to stay here longer.
Here we go, Baxter Norton with a free kick. High contact there from Pearce. Lead up is green, he's ignored, so he goes longer. Garland's there, but getting back nicely. I think that's Hubbard back there.
Yep.
Ethan Hubbard, who's been pretty good. Now he's got the switch on if he wants it with Sam Simpson. Decides to play it a bit safer and go to Lee, the ruckman, who marks right half back. Lee taking his full measure here. Now he has to play on. Kicks up the wing. Nice thump there from Liam Howard. Sees the ball out of bounds.
They'll just be happy for the stoppages at the moment, Clarence. They're just to try and get their composure again and just start to set up. To North's credit, they've taken away that aggressive move of Clarence having that back person, one back behind the ball now. So they've manned them up, and it's starting to pay dividends for them.
Massive prize, of course, is a grand final berth. This last 8 minutes is going to be great footy. Lee taps it to Nicholas beautifully. Nicholas goes backwards to Fletcher Bennett. Back to Lee. Back to Bennett. All by hand. Another handball. This time to Jack Avon, who's been huge today. Bounces the handball to Cox Goodyear. To Mansell. Inside 50. Looking for Leaf. They over the back. Brandon Leary. Brandon Leary's taken it. On the chest. 30 out. Slight angle.
I've been calling it all day. I tell you, he's had some shots. I missed a few, Foz.
But how was the handball work from the Bombers on the wing there? They didn't bomb it forward. They waited for an opportunity. And the opportunity that presented was Brandon Leary. This to put the Bombers in front in the preliminary final. 17 minutes gone. Brandon Leary has kicked the goal. The Bombers are in front for the first time in a long time in this contest. 4-8-32. They lead Clarence 4-4-28. 17 minutes gone.
Just so we get that recognition, Foz, it was Nathan Pearce with the hands over in front. Nathan Pearce with the beautiful hands.
Yes.
Cox Goodyear was just coming off the bench. Yes. The Rochalee boys are in town, Max. The Rochalee boys have arrived. The premiership side. Look at them.
Brad Cox Goodyear's brothers there, Caden and Andrew.
Yes, up and about. A good relationship between Rochalee and the Northern Bombers.
Now, Oscar Mansell just come off. I'll get Cros to keep an eye on that. Cros, you got anything there? He's just come off the ground.
Yeah, it looks like just a cork to the lower leg, mate. So just keep an eye on that one for you.
No worries. Well, drama here as North Launceston have hit the front. 18 minutes gone now. Here's Matthew McGee.
Alex Lee, right hand palm down. Sulzberger. They've lifted of the Bombers. They're coming home to the Invermay Park end. What have we ticked over? 18 minutes. Probably about 6 or 7 left, you'd imagine. And they've just found a way at the moment. And what are the inside 50s for Dave Gruber, please, Fozzle?
Yes, 12-4. So they've dominated this quarter.
Able to get the ball forward.
Clearances 6-2.
Oh, there's another one. Massive hit forward by Lee, who's pulled up a little bit sore. Here's Norton. They've got to go now. To Clarence, get it inside. It's a terrible bounce. It's holding the footy against Sulzberger.
To Oscar Paprotny.
Oscar Paprotny will go inside 50. Where's Big Noah Holmes? He sticks the jukes up. He's got a free kick. Big Noah against Theo Ives. He had the front spot. He stuck the big backside out. And Noah Holmes is going to have a shot from about 50. The wind will come from that sort of right shoulder. We've seen a lot of kicks today miss to the left. Let's see if he starts it on the right-hand side line. Noah Holmes, the distance shouldn't be a worry. They trail by 4. Noah Holmes from 50. It starts to come. It stays on that left side again. Got to go right goalpost, Max.
They certainly do. They haven't learnt either side. You know, there's been 3 or 4 shots from identical position and same result.
Bales has been called to play on as he stepped over the line. Goes towards Griffiths, far side of the ground. Clarence will come again. Here's a Loams. No, in fact, it's Borsboom in the long sleeves on that wing. Another inside 50 will make it interesting.
Alex Lee is sore before, but he seems to recovered okay. Herculean effort to get in the ruck today.
He gets that one down again. Dave Gruber, another hit out. It goes back to him from Simpson. They're away through Jackie Avent, the veteran. Another 3 bounces. He goes over the top to Connor Young. He'll break 50. Could this be the seal of Connor Young? I think it is. It is. The Northern Bombers. They've come from nowhere, and now they're well and truly in front by 9 points. Is that the sealer? And are they off to another grand final? Max Walker.
Great play, wasn't it? Well, great coaching as well. Putting Young back there just nullified a little bit of the play that Keegan Wiley and Baker Smith.
They were one tall short, weren't they, really? Yeah, maybe 2.
They've found that tall now with Connor Young. He's loving that last quarter opportunity up there, relishing a couple of contested contests and then finished off with a goal. Great run by Avent too.
He's been great all day.
Held the ball, just knew when to release it.
We talked about the North Launceston have enough experience. Well, they certainly do when Lee gives it to Avent. And Avent used all of his experience with bouncers. And Connor Young, what a finish. He stuck the arms out like a soccer striker when it went through off the boot. And they've hit the lead well, North Launceston.
So we've got a free kick as the ball was escaping. It's going to go the way of Simpson, who's led the team well today. So looking at 13 inside 50 to 5 in this last quarter. Simpson in the centre circle. He's going to take his time now. The clock is the enemy of the Clarence Roos. Kick to half forward. Leary front position. Can't take the mark. Off the hands to Pearce. Leary's second effort. Rolls around with the ball underneath him. And it'll be a stoppage at left half forward. For North Launceston.
It's a really big ask to be able to kick 2 goals for Clarence to get on top again when they've only kicked the 4 for the game.
And we haven't had long quarters, so we've gone 21, nearly 22 now. Cox Goodger gets it out somehow to Oscar Mansell. Kicks it to half forward to Nicholas. Mitch Nicholas has drifted forward and he can kick the ball long. Man on the mark, 45 out. And whether he thinks he can kick it or not, he's going to soak up 30 seconds here.
Good kick by Mansell again. Again, been very, very creative today.
One of the most improved players in the competition, Oscar Mansell. Now Nicholas kicks from 48, keeps it low. It's got the distance. They're on their way to the grand final of the Northern Bombers. And they've got another shot at a big dance down in North Hobart. Mitch Nicholas kicks it. That's 3 goals in about 5 minutes for North Launceston.
Yeah, 4 for the quarter.
6-8-44 to 4-5-29.
Well, I just got the feeling early on that Clarence were just a little bit defensive. All they probably needed was 1, maybe 2 goals. 1 could have been even enough. Just couldn't get it. And the floodgates start to open. But I think you hit the nail on the head, Foz. They've just started to use the ball better.
Yeah,
inside 50, ball better, hit targets.
Down, hitting targets, not bombing it in.
A couple of targets, and all of a sudden, the Clarence defenders have to defend. And they've made some good coaching moves. We were a little bit critical earlier on, but the Leaf Lang and Young moves have made it harder for the Clarence defenders to defend. Clarence are going to try and get through here now by Preshaw inside 50. Not being able to take the mark was Howlett, but he steps and he kicks a point. Well, if they were going to have any chance as they tick over 23 and a half minutes, that was going to be it. And Fletcher Bennett is going to do the kick out. Well, it was hard to pick at three-quarter time. If anything, we thought Clarence was still the side. But it's been North Launceston with 4 goals. They don't give up. They're a proud club. Here's a mark from Noah Holmes. Holmes, scrubby kick, and it's a defensive mark to Theo Ives. Well, Big Noah had that shot for goal, didn't he? That would have put them, what, 10 up, maybe? 10 up, or back in front?
Back in front, yeah.
Back in front by 2 or 3. And didn't miss by a lot. That's a good mark, Mitchy Nicholas. It's been solid, Mitch. He's just a solid player. You know what you're going to get from the youngster in Mitch Nicholas.
He's been good in the last quarter, Declan Chugg.
Been tremendous. I've mentioned all season, and in other years he's got terrific endurance, Declan Chugg, and it comes to the fore in the last. Here's Simpson, tucked away in the back pocket. He'll go up the line. Bradley Cox-Goodger, I reckon he just sparked them at the start of this last quarter. He had 5 or 6 touches. Gives it to Jack Preshaw on the way through. Sandringham Dragons, they had a great third quarter, led by Riley Sanders. They're 75, lead the Geelong Falcons 59.
Boundary throw in right in front of the interchange area. We'll get Alec Croswell, we'll get a word with one of the North Launceston players post-game. As flicked over the back by Lee, running onto it is Simpson. In attendance though is Jack Preshaw, who tackles him to the ground. We've got a ball up. We might get a slightly longer quarter with a few goals kicked, but there can't be long left. 25-20. Now is ticked over. From the ball up, Pearce releases Cox-Goodger. He's got Jack Avent if he wants him. He's central the kick here towards Brandon Leary. Leary will run onto it. He will snap for goal and he'll kick another one for North Launceston. That's his second.
Second in the quarter.
And this second half of this last quarter has just been electric from the Bombers. And they're on their way, as we've said, to the grand final. 7-8-50, 4-6-30.
He's always going to be the match winner, Max, if he has space. He got the ball goal side then, and if you give him space, he's had a lot of shot at goals today. He's kicked 2, but I reckon he's kicked 2, 4, a couple out of bounds. He just needs space.
Yeah, you're right. The space was the key there, and his pace, to be able to switch and run onto it. Interestingly, most likely the last goal in the game makes the first multiple goal kicker of the game.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61.
666 a warning.
Yes, well spotted there, Macca.
Clarence just had 7 forwards.
And we'll be at North Hobart Oval next Saturday for the grand final. It'll be North Launceston versus the Kingborough Tigers. And North Launceston versus the Tigers was one of the great finals. Hobart Tigers back in the day. Let's hope we get a big crowd there. Should be a cracking game. From the middle, Max Gapin can't quite pick it up. Avent does, sweeps it out. Little kick by Paprotny, who's been one of their best for the Roos. Taken now by Howlett. Opportunity on the left. Kicks towards goal. It's going to get to the line. It's punched through. Or punched out of bounds there by the North Lonnie defender. I think it was Mitchell. So it'll be a boundary throw in. Over to you, Macca. Take us out to that final siren, which I don't think will be far away.
Won't be far away. What a terrific last quarter for North Launceston. 5 goals. It was a toss of the coin at three-quarter time. And North Launceston, they made a few moves late in the third, and they've come to fruition. Geez, Alex Lee's been big again. Just battles away. Heaps of hit-outs. Jackie Avent, important goal, or part of the goal-scoring chain when he ran through the middle. And Mitch Nicholas, another contested ball. So you'd imagine Ollington will definitely come in. I can see him, Van Dam as a defender, Foz, which could allow them to push Connor Young forward like they have today.
Ollington?
Yeah, Ollington, I said that. He's a
sorry.
Sorry, you're part of your social media.
No, I'm just
millions of followers.
Just messaging our boundary rider,
giving
his instructions.
You just repeated something I said.
Sorry.
But Harry Summers maybe could be in the squad, uses the ball well, good run. Has had a pretty good back end of Devils season.
It's tough though, isn't it? Because you have to ask some boys to step aside from this team.
I think the Tigers probably got Brereton. Brereton's in their
Tommy
squad.
Bennett.
Yeah, Yeah, did he play today, Tommy Bennett?
I think he did.
Yeah, okay. So he's another one that may be in their squad to come back. But just to tell you what, it's hard to get into that Tigers side if you're a young fella, because they're very, very experienced. Here's Connor Young. He goes back now just to settle things down in the last couple of minutes. He swivels, he kicks down the line, and it's a good mark to Sam Green. No, in fact, it's Ollie Preshaw. He'll go to Norton. Norton just kicks it down the throat of young Mitchell. So Lockie Mitchell. And there it is. North Launceston, this proud club from the north. They're going to go to another grand final. It's still not an all-southern grand final. There's still a northern presence. And North Launceston, 7-8-50. They defeat Clarence 4-6-30 in what I would describe as one of their best wins of the season. They look gone, but Clarence just couldn't put them away. And a 5-goal last quarter was enough for the Northern Bombers, led by Bradley Cox-Goodger, the captain Cole, the coach of the side. And they will go down to North Hobart next week, and they'll take on the might of the Kingborough Tigers.
Just want to pay a little bit of tribute to Clarence. They've fallen at this hurdle the second year in a row, but they had a lot of injuries this year. They look gone through the season with all those injuries and all those difficulties, but they've done well under Peter Ryan once again. So they'll be disappointed with today, but it's been another pretty good season for the proud club of the Clarence Roots.
Yeah, look, I think they'll look at the game and say that for 3 quarters the game was on their terms, Max, and they just haven't been able to get over the line in that last quarter. Through some good coaching moves for North Launceston, through some good use of the footy, and they won the footy at the coalface with Alex Lee dominant in the ruck, and then their match winners in Brandon Leary, and the goal to Declan Chugg was super important. And 5 goals in the last was enough.
It was, Macca, and it was a combination of that. It was the better ball use, and just those smart moves that the Cox-Goodger and his coaching staff made at 3-quarter time, which nullified Keegan Wiley and Baker Smith, who were basically the match winners for them from deep in the back line all day for 3 quarters at least.
You talk about winning the ball at the coalface. 25-7 the hit-outs in the last quarter to Alex Lee. Clearances 13-5.
Yeah.
You're getting your hands on the footy 3 times as much as the opposition. I think we're going to go down to the greatest boundary rider at the moment, Alec Croswell.
Yeah.
He's overcome adversity today.
I think he's waiting for Brad Cox-Goodger to shake a couple more hands. We'll go down to Alec now, who's with Brad Cox-Goodger.
Yeah, thanks, Foz. Got the coach down here, Brad Cox-Goodger, and games record holder. Now, Brad, congratulations, mate. That was a sensational win. Were you confident you could overrun them there in the last?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the game was on our half. They were dropping a lot of numbers back, and we thanks, Sean. And we had plenty of the ball, but we just kept kicking into their spares, and we knew that we had plenty of the footy, so we just had to tidy things up. We rolled a couple of numbers around and paired off on their spares, and able to get them one-on-one in front of the footy, and I think that really helped us. And then obviously we overran them in the end.
Yeah, beautiful stuff, mate. And obviously next week in the big one against Kingborough, have probably just got the wood on you the last couple of games. You have some Devils coming back in next week, and what can you do to turn the tide against them?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. That makes things interesting because there's obviously a lot of quality players within our Devil contingent. So, it's pretty few keys in there. I didn't know they lost. So, it's unlucky for them. They did a great job and we're pretty proud of the Devils. But, we'll take them when they come back in. So, we'll have to think about that. I didn't know that, so it's handy.
Yeah, beautiful, mate. And just on yourself, games record. It's been a big weekend for your family. Obviously, Rocher Lee getting the win yesterday. And unbelievable, mate. They're very loud at the moment, so I won't keep you too long. Get over there and celebrate. But congratulations, mate, and good luck next week.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Thanks, buddy. Over to you, boys. Thank you.
Thanks, great job on the boundary there today, and thanks to Brad Cox-Goodger for his time there. Now, I think there might be a little bit of a guard of honour or something happening here. I'm not quite sure.
Well, it's a record games.
Just want to it was a nice moment there before that interview where Brad Cox-Goodger went over to Colin Garland. They embraced. This is probably going to be Colin's last game for the Roos. He did come back this year, hoping to get a flag of the Roos. But great career, Colin Garland, and that has to be recognised here this afternoon.
Yep, absolutely, Dave, and you're probably right. Like, we all thought he was going to retire at the end of last year, but with the injuries and all that they had, he's come back and probably been managed a little bit through it when he's been sore this year. So congratulations, a really good contributor to footy in Tassie.
Absolutely, Max. And here's the moments we love in footy. The North Launceston players forming a guard of honour. The Rocher Lee players are all down there. The Tigers, Caden and Andrew, Brad's brothers, as he's been chaired off the ground. 241 games, through to another grand final. Many premierships with the Bombers. Alistair Lynch medalist, Hudson medalist.
City Park Player of the Year.
Absolutely, the whole lot. Of course,
Don't forget that one,
represented the state this year as well in that fantastic game against Queensland as the Northern Bombers head off the arena. We'll have a quick wrap up here on City Park Radio. Hope you've enjoyed the live stream in our radio broadcast today. What do you got to say, Macca, there?
Goal kickers.
Yes,
haven't given
we haven't
those
done
yet.
those. We'll do the stats as well.
It was 2 goals to Brandon Leary, both in the last. We were waiting for him, Max, to just open up and kick a couple. He got them. Connie Young, really good last quarter up forward. He got 1. Declan Chugg, super goal. He got 1 in the last. Mitchie Nicholas got 1 in the last. Josh Rickard kicked 1 in the third, and Jack O'Hearn kicked 1 in the second. And for Clarence, it was all singles. It was 4 of them. They just got stuck on those 4 goals. Jared Harper, Oscar Paprotny, Colin Garland and Bryce Alomes in what was a really good battle, great finals footy game between 2 rivals, North Lonnie and Clarence.
And today's stats, North Launceston 65 hit outs to 28. Gee, Alex Lee, he's under an injury cloud nearly every week. He's got so much strapping on him, but he just keeps on performing. He's got the 6-day break. I reckon he'll be resting up. He'll hardly train this week, but he'll get up for the big dance. There's no doubt about that, Max.
He'll need some rubs, won't he? He'll need some massage, and he has Big Tompkinson waiting for him down south.
And
Tyler Carter.
Gardner will. Gardner doesn't, Carter will.
That's right.
Hit out 65 North Launceston, 28 to Clarence, 25 to 7 that last quarter, so a huge performance there from Alex Lee. Clearances 38 to North Launceston, 23 to Clarence, 13 to 5 in that last quarter. So all the key stats favoured the Bombers in the last stanza of play. Marks inside 50, 10 to North Launceston, 5 to Clarence, 3 to 0 to the Bombers in that last quarter. Inside 50s, 48 to 34 to the Bombers. Free kicks, a well-umpired game, I think, boys. I can't hardly think of a decision all day that we question. No, the great umpires there, Geese and McEntee and Percy, so well done, boys. And free kicks were 31 to Clarence, 29 to North Launceston. Intercept marks, that was Clarence's strength today, 19 to 13. Max Walker, some better players, and maybe a 3-2-1 there.
Yeah, just very quickly, start with Clarence. Just going down the list, Baxter Smith was fantastic for 3 quarters. Baker Smith fantastic for 3 quarters. Keegan Wiley, Noah Holmes was a solid contributor. Liam Howard, thought he played really well also. Colby Whitelaw, I was impressed with him, got a bit of the ball as well. Ryan Borsboom early, faded in the second half, but certainly done his job in the first half. Fisher did some good things. Alomes, that first goal of the game, looked like it was going to be a repeat of last week where he set the world on fire, but was well held after that. For North Launceston, Cox Goodyear got a bit of the ball in the last quarter when it was needed, which was fantastic. Ben Simpson was extremely serviceable again throughout the course of the day. Brandon Leary, like Macca said, last couple of goals for him, bit of room, bit of pace that he could utilise, and we know that he knows where the middle of those goals are. Thought Fletcher Bennett played extremely well down the back. Lockie Mitchell, I thought he played really well on Alomes, to be honest. Like, he cut him out of the game.
Alomes was good early.
He was.
Very good early, and we thought, hello, here's the Alomes we know.
Yeah. He'd be much happier playing on him today than one of the big 3 next week.
I know. It's going to be some good. I think they'll get Van Dam back. I think they'll have to play him, and of course Ollington will be a really important player.
Yep, exactly. Jackie Avent, he pops up when it's required of him with his experience. He set that up in the last quarter by that big dash through the middle, a couple of handballs. Oscar Mansell, best game I've seen him play, was really, really good. Young fella in the ruck, number 30 for North Launceston, thought he went all right. Alex Lee, exceptional. Votes today.
I'll tell you what, just before you give them, don't underestimate Blade Sulzberger. That last quarter, he gets his hands on the footy, him and Simpson. Sulzberger's taken over that Cox Goodyear role, hands on the footy. Yep. He doesn't get the footy and go with it much, but his first hands on it, I reckon he got tackled 15 times, but his clearance work is pretty good at the moment. So well done, those boys there.
Yeah, I just like on Sulzberg. I just like him, like you say, he gets his hands on it. Just like to see him a bit quicker.
Yeah, he does.
He holds it back every time he gets it. Whether that's an instruction because they're confident with his foot skill to be able to hit up a target or not, I'm not quite sure. But
got some big jobs next week against the Tigers midfield.
They certainly have. Votes today. Probably the best forward on the ground, little Oscar Mansell, give him 1. best opportunity that he's had, and certainly played extremely well. Thought Baker Smith for 3 quarters was BOG. Just the way he read the ball, and just made a real nuisance of himself. Bit of frustration in the North Launceston forward line. And my mate Alex Lee.
I agree with it today.
As day becomes night,
I agree with it today.
Death, taxes, and Alex Lee getting 3 from Max.
Well, it's my last chance. I'll probably give him 3 next week too from afar, I reckon.
Now, I have a bit of an announcement.
Here it is.
I told
He got this.
You said, Foz, I'm waiting on a text, and I said to Macca, he's not waiting. He's already got the text.
He actually sets the start time.
Now, the text does say to be confirmed, TBC. Okay, so
you've got to confirm.
So Hamish McLaughlin, Bruce McAvaney, eat your heart out because I've got the scoop.
Listen to it today.
Robbo.
Never wrong.
Robbo.
He said he's never wrong.
I believe.
Right, hang on. There's still 500 people watching.
Good. They might quit after this. But I believe the start time for the grand final next week will be 2:30 at North Hobart Oval.
That's one out of the box.
So we'll be on air.
It's different.
We'll be on air from, it was 3 o'clock last year. We'll be on air from 2:15. So City Park Radio listeners will be going south.
And the good thing is the AFL game doesn't start till 5, so we'll be done and won and whatever, and we'll be able to listen to.
So if you're watching the stream down
AFL
south, get along to the footy next week. Let's make it like those grand finals in the 1990s where there were huge crowds there at North Hobart, because it's going to be a cracking game. North Launceston obviously now going underdogs because they lost last week and they've had the game. But I tell you what, it's going to be a great grand final. We've seen so many good games between North Launceston and the Tigers here in the last 2 seasons. So it's going to be a cracker. What do you think about the smaller ground? What are your first thoughts on that?
Look, I think it'll suit North. They've got some really good young blokes and good runners and all that. I'm just a bit concerned with all the tall timber that Kingborough bring to the game.
Yep.
You know, the 3 big fellas that we spoke about. There's nowhere for them to go. Yeah, you can just pop it up in the air and they'll get the grab because North probably don't have the height in defence. But, geez, you know, if North switch around and make them run a bit, it could be really messy for the Kingborough Tigers. What I really like about next week, footy's finished in Hobart. Signet and Huonville played a ripper last.
Yep.
Old Scholars is done.
Old Scholars is done. I reckon if you live south of Mount Pleasant, what is it, Mount Nelson?
Yes.
All the footy's finished. They had a big crowd there last week. It's a Kingborough area. You know, they should actually pack that joint out.
Absolutely. And, credits. I mean, that area of Hobart, the 2 SFL finalists and a TSL finalist all come from the South Hobart. So congratulations to all involved in all those clubs. But we better wrap it up, I think, because it's been a great day of footy. A tough, hard final. It really opened up in that last quarter. North Launceston were just too good in the end for the Clarence Roos at the final siren. Max, thanks for your contributions this year. I know you can't be with us next week, but it's been terrific having you on board, and we look forward to next season.
Love doing it, Foz. It's a great thing. The amount of people that you run into in the street and all that sort of thing and just say, City Park Radio is great. We really appreciate what you do. So just comments like that, you know, the people who can't get to the footy, just makes it worthwhile.
Fantastic. And thanks to Alec Croswell for his efforts.
And what an effort it was today.
It was under a lot of duress.
He needs as much work on the tables this week as Alex Lee.
I think so.
He does.
Thanks to Groobs, who's just popped out for a moment. Great effort, as per usual, on the stats. Thanks to Chris Ball in the studio, who had a big weekend with 2 big grand final broadcasts. Thanks to Ben Donaldson on the camera, who's also had a big weekend with 5 grand finals. Must be some sort of record. He's done a terrific job on the stream. Thanks to AFL Tasmania for their support, and thanks to all you who have been watching and listening here today to this preliminary final. So we look forward to next week, and it's going to be a great grand final. The Kingborough Tigers against North Launceston, but their final score here, it was North Launceston 7-8-50, defeated Clarence 4-6-30. Bye for now.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge.